And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Happy Dicecream Day. Nice hair, Kevin. Holy cow.
Yeah, it was getting real wild there.
Damn, we both need to see Weldon so badly.
Hey, I already got a haircut. Look at this. Super smooth. I just choose to have a mop on top of my head like a Muppet.
Yeah, all right.
Beaker-looking ass out here. Sorry.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, so we are in. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us in the chat today. We're excited to get into the campaign. Do we have any big announcements this week?
Not really.
Yeah.
The game that we have to sponsor with the Start Playing Games booked up, which is super neat. So that's really cool. Not sure if we're going to stream that one. There's talks of maybe recording it if the players feel comfortable, and maybe streaming at a later date, but we'll see. Nothing, no promises there, but super cool that it booked out. So thanks, Start Playing Games for that.
Awesome. Yeah, really cool thing. Definitely something we'll be looking at doing more in the future. All right, so I think with that, we're good to dive right into tonight's episode. Episode 6, getting into more and more of the backstories.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Demon hunting.
All right, we'll see you guys back here in 1 minute.
Bye.
And we're back. So,
Yo.
Last we left off, the party having made their way on a contract from Lady Laeral Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep and Lord of the Lord's Alliance faction within Faerun, headed east towards the city of Secomber, met with a few interesting characters there, but their primary mission was more so to investigate a trail of an attack that had recently been made by a few devilish entities. Following the tracks into a very small wooded grove about 2 hours northeast of the city, they ended up having an encounter there where they found a couple of clues, some potential avenues for how this attack had transpired, but were ambushed by an invisible entity, a very powerful dragon-like devil. And upon returning to Waterdeep and returning to the library, the great library below the temple to Ogma, they were able to investigate some information about this and find out a lot of things that may have come about as a result of this entity, learning that it is referred to as a blue Abishai. An Abishai being a dragon-based dragonish entity coming up from the Nine Hells, typically in servitude of Tiamat, the five-headed dragon queen of all chromatic dragons. But that there were some instances in the past where these
One
dragons...
sec, fellas. I'll be right back.
All good. Where these dragons had left their queen, finding a separate entity to serve, and instead being able to track that entity and potentially find another host that could be the one that they were then in servitude to. They also went further and found some information on traveling between planes and actually finding a very, very small, very old journal from an entity referred to as the Hidden Lord, also known as Gargoth. And this Gargoth entity was one that had traveled successfully between the Nine Hells and the Prime Material Plane in the past, having amassed a series of followers referred to as the Disciples of the Hidden Lord. Last we left off, everybody heading back to their respective rooms for the evening, digesting a lot of the information that they had gleaned from their first visit to the library, and deciding exactly how they were going to use this moving forward. So, with that, all of you waking up the following morning, good night's rest, food provided, breakfast and drinks and coffee accordingly. What all is it that you would like to do? Sorry.
I've done all the research I really wanted to do.
Do you think it's time we checked in with Lady Silverhand?
I think that's a good idea. There's a couple other things I'd like to do in the city, but perhaps first we head to see Lady Silverhand.
Does everybody think that we have enough information to bring to her?
For Lady Silverhand? Oh yeah. I suspect we've got plenty of information.
Well, I think their expectations were rather low. I'd say we've exceeded them.
That's kind of our specialty.
Doom masters, all types of things.
Are we in agreement that whatever this entity might be, or whatever might be responsible for this, is in some way related to Gargoth, this hidden lord?
I would think Gargoth or Asmodeus, one or the other.
Okay. So
maybe they're friends?
Yeah.
Pretty likely.
Sadly, yes.
I don't think we want to say absolutely for sure, but we can tell them that, it's like that's the way it is.
Sounds
The way it
good.
is.
And things are never going to be the same.
Probably not.
All right. Well, did anyone else find anything of interest last night? Did we really touch base on all our findings, or?
I think we were sharing as we were going, no?
That's fair. I know I was pretty wrapped up in all my stuff, but it's good to know we're all sort of, guess we're all aware of what was going on.
It was really interesting reading about the Furbolgs, Leif. Thank you for letting me help you with that.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, I never realized how little I knew, so I thank you so much for helping me out. So shall we, is there anything we want to get up to on the way to the castle district, or we...
Well, we could swing by that fancy armor shop.
I
Yeah.
think that we should go first to the castle or wherever. I think we should go straight to her, just because we've got this information and it was implied to us that it was time sensitive. I think that if we should prioritize that, and on the way back get the armor.
That's true. I mean, we were going to, I think if I remember correctly, we were getting paid out for this, so, maybe do a little
fair enough.
after.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got
Hit the Waterdeep
coin.
casinos.
The
Yes,
should support the shopping.
Yeah, play some
Silverhand
elf
first.
poker.
And silver in our hands after.
Oh, Leif, that was a good one.
Support small Waterdeep business, I always say.
That's good.
I'm glad that you like that one, Leif.
And
Oh.
Jordy, just to clarify, /Jesse Shaw, did you do the, like you said you were going to send the message to Thirst Trap when we were on our way back to Waterdeep? Did that?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, do you want to roleplay this one? Or, like, it will basically just be I'll be sending a message to Raiden Vorsk.
That was on our way back to Waterdeep.
Yeah. I think we already said that we wanted to do that.
Oh, I didn't get that at all.
It's all good.
We did say it, and then Jesse said that he was going to type it out for you, counting the words.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think no, that's my bad. I don't think I ever followed up on that.
Yeah, no, that wasn't. Yeah, I had no idea.
It's all good. Essentially, all that would be was just alerting Raiden that we were returning back to Waterdeep with some information.
Okay, and when did you send that?
That would have been
And that we were coming back to Waterdeep, but we would likely spend some time at the library.
I think when we were on the road is when we talked about sending it.
We'll say like it was probably, if we want to date it, probably the night before we arrived, just to kind of. But
Okay,
if
so you've
if
been
that
on the road for 8 days before sending the message.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if that, I was gonna say, if that like has any sort of narrative complications, like I'm happy to just roll that we didn't do that.
Well, if you did say it on stream and it was something that we just didn't really get acknowledged for whatever reason, then that's fine. If it was something that like you want to backtrack to that and say that we did it, retcon it, then it has narrative changing. Yeah, if you said it on stream and it was just never followed through on, that's fine.
That's my bad.
Shorty.
Cool.
Bad, Fibble, bad.
So sorry, I was between having demon visions, revealing a bunch of backstory shit. It was a big day the other day, so I'm sorry, gang.
It was a big day.
Look, I'm used to being more of a side character. This is kind of a new one for me. So anyways, would we have gotten any specific response from Raiden, or would I have gotten any specific response, or just kind of like, cool, see you?
So you would have sent it the day before you got back into Waterdeep. What would the message have said specifically?
Oh shit. Okay. We're returning to Waterdeep from Secomber. Investigation went well. Researching at the library. Will return with info soon. I'm not counting how many words this is, but... Oh.
Okay. Yeah, but essentially, yeah, that's the gist of the message. Okay.
Yeah. Basically just saying, we're arriving, we got this, we're going to do a little more research, see you soon.
So the response you would have gotten would have been, all right, that was good to know. Did you leave word with Shazayir with everything you had found out for the troops there?
Oops. We'll say, I guess, like, retconning this, like, 3 days ago, Leif just kind of sweats quietly to himself. It's present day. Hey, everyone, I kind of forgot to tell you about something we were supposed to do.
We could send her... No, them. Sorry, I can't remember their...
Her.
It is her. We could send her a message, right?
Yeah, we can.
We know her.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is the thing, is this would have happened when you were on the road, you would have gotten that response, and then you could have gone, oh shit, and then immediately fired another message off. If you really wanted to.
We can send her a message, tell her that we have information, we will be researching further, and when we get a full layout, we'll mail a letter.
That's exactly what I sent to Shazayir.
Okay. Alright, so you would have gotten a response from Shazayir as well. Excuse me, sorry, that was just really funny. This is the simultaneous oh shit moment from everyone.
Crap.
Drop.
Using
I guess instead of just telling the crazy mage.
I forgot about that other key character.
Good of you to... So her response would have been, good of you to tell me this. Are you still in the village? I would like to know everything that you found out before you left.
Oh my god.
I need to prepare for any defenses of any other creatures that may attack.
I will respond to that, because I'm pretty sure I'm not using any...
we'll say it's like late enough in the day that
Yeah.
You can use up your spell slots as you need.
Yeah.
Can we roll perceptions to see how much Leif is sweating during all of this messaging?
Oh my goodness.
Your
I hate
passives are high enough.
All of these wide-eyed looks at him going,
Is it warm with? Is anyone else's warm with iron? It's really it's like a heat wave coming into Waterdeep. But yeah, I would respond to Shazayir. We will be returning to Secomber. Hopefully soon. We can provide a full detail on what we found.
At the time, we also didn't know exactly what it was because we needed to research more. So
you were given a name of what it might have been and a description.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you didn't see it.
If Leif wanted to use attack of like, we're gonna find out for sure what we can find and research, and then make a full report.
Yeah, that's sort of. I mean, I think that was kind of what I was angling towards there. He's just like fumbling through spell slots here. I don't know how many I need to burn through to get my point across. Look, Shazayir, our group has this problem where we go to towns and cities, figure something out, and then leave immediately. You'll get used to that.
I hope that it is not something I get used to, I will be honest. But
Oh.
are you saying that there was an encounter? You found something?
As Leif expends his second 5th level spell slot, yes. We came into contact with what we think was an Achaidh. A blue Achaidh. We're doing more research on this.
I do not know what an Achaidh is. Is this some kind of a creature? Some kind of an entity? I need more information if I have to protect the people in the village.
You could tell her to talk to the mage.
Check in with. Oh no, because Amelia doesn't like her.
I know. That's what I know.
Oh, no.
Rock at a hard place.
Leif looks around judgingly at everyone else that is taking first level dips into caster and going, why don't you have sending yet?
4th level spell.
Damn it.
I can talk to people I can see, but I can't talk to people far away.
That's okay, Aluura.
I mean, silently talk to people I can see.
That's fair.
Hey, it's pretty far, right?
For what?
Secomber.
To get back to Secomber at this point?
It's 9 days travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could send Rick back with a written message.
For Rick, so it's 9 days travel on horseback. For Rick flying, he'd probably be closer to 3 weeks.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, never mind.
What if
No,
we
he's good.
sent Rick with cinnamon?
Oh my goodness. the NPC, the companion side quest.
Rick the
I'm
party
excited to play a campaign.
standing on
as
a
our
saddle.
pets.
Yeah, there we go.
You'd have to do that once you got back to Waterdeep, because you only have the 2 horses.
Okay, so
you don't have enough
basically-
horses to carry everybody if you send cinnamon off.
For narrative purposes, as Leif has messaged everyone in his backstory repeatedly, and everyone else that we've met in the last 3 weeks, this is probably his last spell slot.
Yeah.
And the Achaidh was some sort of blue dragon demon. It had the ability to turn invisible. We had a really difficult time with it. Please be aware of it. Stay safe. See you soon.
Hugs and kisses.
And there's an audible pause and kind of wait for any more information, and then just invisible blue dragon. Okay. Sure. Any more information that you can provide will be greatly appreciated.
All we got right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
that's
pulling
all you would have had when you were on the road, so you could
pulling
send
into
more.
Waterdeep. Does anyone need a drink? I'm really stressed. No. Okay, and 3 days later,
So,
and
a couple of days later, you've researched a little bit, you've waken up, because you got into the city, you did your research during the afternoon of that day, and then it would have been the second day that you've now woken up in the following morning and sent off a message to Ryden you said you were going to send? Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I guess we can.
Because you've done a little bit of research now, but you obviously have more time if you need it.
Yeah. Are y'all cool if I message Ryden and let him know that we're coming?
Wait.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. So I will cast sending to Ryden and hey Ryden, it's Leif. We're coming by soon to present our findings on the attack on Secomber. If you have any more of that charcuterie board that you had out, that was really cool. Thanks.
Hugs and kisses.
So, a couple of seconds pass, and then... Right. Very much looking forward to having you back in the castle again. Curious to see everything that you've discovered after being on the road for so long.
Can I insight check of like, was he, when he said being on the road for so long, was that him being real sassy?
I would say you don't need an insight check. There did appear to be a bit of a twinge of, it's been a while.
I do have a passive insight of 20, so I guess.
Okay, it's been a while. We were there for 2 days, and then we've been back for 1. So
Yeah.
it's been 3 face, excluding the travel time. Did he expect us to snap there?
Well,
We're not that good at magic yet.
Look, Aluura, look, he might have just been sassy for all I know. I woke him up. Maybe he was having a bath or something. I can't really control when I'm sending, I can't really control the circumstances that they're receiving these messages. It's real tricky. So, I'm going to try and practice a bit of empathy with him.
It's
Maybe
very
he's trying to figure out what sort of shirt he was going to put on today and then leave it unbuttoned. I don't know.
It's very considerate. He might have been having a poo, so you know.
That's true. That's actually when I
You
said...
never know what you're gonna get message, It could be at any point at any time.
That's when I
We
said...
could also do a murder on him. So just as a thought.
That'd be a shame.
Good luck trying to catch him. He's a slippery bugger.
Okay, well, with all this figured out, are we good to roll?
Yeah, let's head to the castle. Is it a castle, Jordy? Is it a castle? What do we call it?
Yeah, it's the Castle Waterdeep.
Castle Waterdeep. Okay.
Cool.
Alrighty.
So we make our
Okay, we're
way
heading
downtown,
there.
walking fast.
Okay. So you start to make your way out outside of the inn for the evening. Start to make your way through the streets. You notice that the guard presence is a little bit heavier than where it was the last time that you were in town. And when you're making your way over to the castle, you find that inside the castle, as you're allowed in by the guards on the mission to speak to Ryden, that the number of trainees that were in the castle proper in comparison to last time is substantially reduced.
Curious.
Can I do the guards that are out look restless or stressed or like more calm and kind of settled?
There is an air, not so much of stress, of more just uncertainty.
Okay.
Like, you're not sure why, but there's a lot less guards inside the castle proper, and there seem to be more that are preparing for something outside, but you don't know what.
Doc, did any of your contacts, I mean, you didn't get any message or anything telling you about new danger in the city, did you?
Would I have gotten any? Okay, great. No.
I mean, I guess we could ask them once
We could certainly poke around.
Poking is fun.
But being led in past the couple of guards that are training, you are eventually led to Ryden, and he's with the familiar elf that's beside him as well. And he just kind of beckons you over and starts walking inside ahead of all of you, as if expecting you to follow him back into the Great Hall.
Don't like his attitude.
How bad was his chest?
Extremely.
He was wearing the same white pants, but this time instead of a shirt that's somewhere, he is in a full, it's like just a very tightly well-fitted vest. No shirt underneath it.
I've seen that look before.
Aluura visibly rolls her eyes.
Yeah.
Ryden's so cool.
All the guys in the party are like, oh yeah, he's the best. All right, so you're led inside, and he...
That guy at Shambhala.
Yeah, he is straight up a Shambhala guy.
I saw you at Burning Man, Ryden.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's essentially beckoning for all of you to come inside into the Great Hall after him, and he heads over to the kitchen area, gets a glass of water, a small plate of food, and kind of brings it over for himself.
Is it a charcuterie board?
Yeah, it's not the same size that was there last time. Like before, he asked you what you were interested in getting. This time, he just went to go get food for himself.
After Leif told him we wanted
We wanted the charcuterie board.
That was deliberate.
Leif awkwardly reaches for it and then kind of pulls back. Oh, okay.
He just like pops a couple of small slices of cured meat into his mouth.
Elethe watches him and then finds some cured meat in her bag and just offers some to the party.
Ooh, I'll
Or
take some of
takes
that.
it.
Venison, anyone?
Little bacon bit right there, if you don't mind.
My apologies. I should have asked if there was anything any of you wanted. It's
No,
a bit of a
we're
stressful
fine.
time at the moment. Can I get you anything? Some water, some cheese, bread?
We're
Some
fine.
information. Why are you so stressed, buddy?
Yeah.
Well, the
What's
information
going
that you provided to Shazair finally reached our ears this morning when a raven flew in. And we ended up having to dispatch more troops because you said that you found something and that there was an entity there that was not part of the original attack.
That's true, yeah. then it was a real rascal.
A
Yeah,
rascal.
we got more information. We took what we had and went straight to the font of knowledge to dig deeper in what we had uncovered. Would you like us to share?
Please.
I think that the doctor and Elethe had the most information on the specific entity.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to produce my little drawing that I made
He
and
takes the
say,
sketch.
take a look. This is what we encountered. It's referred to as an Abishai. It is a blue, draconic sort of demon that serves under what was the name again? Tiamat. Does that ring a bell at all?
Yes.
There are other colors, but the blue color of its skin indicates that this one is a magic user.
Yeah, this is the critter what done attacked us, right?
And you all obviously survived.
Well, yeah, here we are.
Oh, that's
It was a difficult fight. I'm going to be fully transparent.
A little worse for wear, but you know.
Yeah.
We did not defeat it. It escaped.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you didn't defeat it.
No.
It has the ability to teleport.
it's close though.
It
Like,
can
really, really close.
teleport. Did you tell Shazair any of this before you left?
We didn't have this information until we...
But you
Oh,
fought it. It can teleport. You said it was a magic user?
We wanted to get a full picture before we sent information to Shazair.
But she had to... Hold on. And he gets up from the table and in a very drastic hurry scurries down one of the hallways.
Leif turns to the rest of the party. So how much do you think we're getting paid for this one?
Yeah, we've done that.
I'm gonna take a piece of food off his plate.
I was gonna say
Just
we're
like gotta
here.
take one of the ends of the crust of bread and like break it off a little and grab a little cheese.
This might be
That's
the
good.
last time we're here, so yeah, maybe we should make up on the charcuterie board.
We gotta bone up on our reconnaissance skills here, guys. We're not Barovia anymore.
I mean,
Why do I feel like Daddy's mad at us?
He's gonna
Yeah,
probably
you-
put on a full length shirt soon, just to spite.
our directive was to check in with Shazair and then bring the information to Thirst Trap. I don't even remember his name. I literally already...
Riding.
I mean, I think we might have really screwed the pooch here by not reporting back in to
Yeah.
Kinda
the
forgot
person
about
who none of us
Shazair.
could remember. So I suppose that's not a big deal.
Well, I
Can we
think
Well, I
spend
know.
that to our advantage?
Why don't we, Leif, do you maybe feel comfortable offering to send another message to Shazair with anything we may have missed so that information can clear immediately?
I mean,
P.S. It teleports by.
yeah, we can. I don't know. I think at this point we need to just sort of own up to this. We'll say mistake. I can pass along whatever other information we deem pertinent to the to her and her party. But yeah, I think we kind of got to take the proverbial L on this one, gang. That was.
Well, we're not used to working within a militia, and I think the way we explain is we are just a little. We made a mistake with where we thought we needed to place the information with a chain of command, and
Or we could lawyer them around.
That's
I do have some
totally-
experience with lawyering.
if that's within your jurisdiction, that might be something we could look into.
Well, they told us to report back here, not to report back to some backwater commander.
If we have an exit interview, maybe we should mention their screening process. Maybe should have included some sort of investigation, some sort of way to vet how good we are at investigating and following orders.
I think.
Well, we're not good at following orders.
That's true.
I think we're all just learning how to communicate our needs better, and
He's still gone, right? We're not talking to him.
Yeah,
He's
he,
like-
he disappeared down a hallway and has been
Yeah.
gone now for about 2 minutes or so.
He's
Okay,
behind
sorry,
us
go
right
ahead,
now, isn't
Emma. I
he?
just wanted to make sure that he wasn't like here listening to us talk about this. Sorry, Emma, go ahead.
yeah, we're just learning to communicate, and we're just learning that they need a lot more information than we thought we needed to give at that time.
Look, For what it's worth, I think we did a great job, so let's keep going.
I will say, for whatever attack we take, let's not make too many excuses. Royden seems like a person of action. We'll just own up to it. Say we apologize if he works us again. We'll be a little more clear about what the actions that are needed to be taken will be. We're not familiar with military protocol at all. And we'll do better next time. And that we're happy to offer Leif services and getting information there immediately rather than Boy Raven.
Yes.
That's all we can do. We can apologize, own up, and then see what we can do to help fix it.
We don't want to dig a hole any deeper.
Exactly.
That's true.
Les, do you maybe want to try and use your charm on Ryden to get us out of trouble?
Oh boy.
I mean, can't hurt. Can't hurt.
So at this point,
That
you
might
start
be
to hear
fun.
heavy footfalls coming down the hallway that Ryden disappeared through, and you see him coming back and visibly worried look on his face. Have any of you spoken to Shazair in the last few days?
I spoke to her about 2 days ago.
2 days ago. So about the same time you sent me that message.
Yeah, right around that day, yeah.
And nothing since then.
No, I can check in with her right now if you want.
Could you please try? We can't get a hold of her.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'll look to Les. Sorry, Les, you want to say something?
Maybe give that person a call first, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, I'll cast Sending to Shazair Nalcor,
All right.
the Red Dragonborn in Secomber, and Shazair, it's Leif contacting you on behalf of the Lord's Alliance. Just want to make sure that everything's okay.
How would you rate our performance? 10 out of 10? 11 out of 10?
I'm stressed.
And yeah, I'll sort of just kind of wait. Like, I don't need to hit 25 words to send it. Like, I can just kind of like end it.
So you cast the spell.
Yeah.
Begin to form the words in your mind, exactly what it is that you're going to say, and you wait for the connection where you know that you have a connection to the creature, and it never comes.
Okay, that's an issue.
Leif. What,
Shall I check in with Amelior?
Melior. Yes.
Okay. So now I'm gonna. And sorry, Jordy, just so I know, for tracking, would that have used a spell slot?
No, you would have attempted to cast it, but you had no target, so the spell fizzled.
Okay, I'm gonna cast the exact same thing on Amelior.
Okay.
And check in with him.
All right.
Hey, Amelior, it's Leif. We talked a few days ago. We're hearing that there's some issue in Secomber. Is everything all right?
And Amelior you have as a target, but there is no response. You're able to send the message successfully to him. He is still a creature, but is unable to or does not respond.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to Ryden and say, all right, can you bear with me here? I can do a bit of, I'll kind of turn to the group and say, I should just scry on him at this point. Like, I feel we're sort of running out of, if I can get as much information, is that useful?
Probably.
Yeah, it'll probably help us get out of this hole we're digging ourselves into.
I mean, I think a ship sailed, we can see. Okay,
One second, Ryden. We're just checking out real quick.
There was that halfling in.
Oh, yeah.
He got
Gertruda?
I never.
No, was it no Gertrude?
Yeah, no, Gertruda was the halfling who owned the inn who made really nice tea
Yes.
for me and the doctor and Aluura.
Leif wasn't there with us though.
Don't really know her.
No, the only person that you would have known was Leighton, who was the owner of the 7-stringed harp, where you did spend the 2 nights.
Do we think it's worth checking in with Amelior? Because I know he's existing in some way.
Scrying? Yes, I do think it's worth it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna cast Scrying on Amelia Amanitas, the Sage of Secomber. I believe because I know exactly what he looks like and all that, I get a bunch of bonuses to that.
So he takes penalty. Yeah, you get bonuses, and he takes penalties to his save against it. But because of the state that he's in, it is an automatic fail. So you do succeed.
Okay.
Dang.
Nice. Sick.
So Leif, you take the 10 minutes and set up the scrying ritual. You're led by Ryden off to a smaller room outside of the Great Hall, so you're not just spreading everything out on the floor in the middle of the Great Hall for everybody else to see. But you're led into a room, given some time to be able to cast your spell, laying out the runes, and eventually you feel the embrace of a pair of kind of leafy hands on the side of your face, one on each side of your head, and kind of turning your head a little bit as if winding you through a small winding tunnel, and your vision goes dark, and then your eyes open, and the rest of you again, you see the familiar sight of Leif's eyes, just solid white in front of you. But Leif, on your side, you see the dark tunnel eventually ending with a little bit of light on the other side, and you look kind of a top-down view of Amelior on the ground, kind of in a recovery position almost, but arm splayed out to the side, blood scattered across the ground, demolished stone surrounding him, his hair tousled, and you see that his robes have been torn open.
What kind of... Do I snap out of that?
You've got 10 minutes of looking at it.
Okay, can I study as much as I can about that scenario? Do I see kind of where he's being held in any way? Does it look like he's in his tower?
So there is scattered stone on the ground.
Okay.
But it's not a stone floor like what you were in when you were in the tower. But the stone that is broken on the ground beside him does ring familiar to the walls that were his tower.
Okay.
But he does appear to be outside on kind of dry grass, a little bit of water, and you kind of hear faint splashing of water, probably 50 feet in the distance, 60 feet in the distance, and listening in for a minute or so, just trying to get an idea of anything, and you just start hearing hushed, kind of whispered voices in a language that you don't understand.
Can I be phonetically repeating those out loud by any chance?
You can try to make an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it's a 5.
It's a 5. The rest of you in the room, all of a sudden Leif just starts going. He's just breathing in and out really
Leif, do you have asthma? Are you okay?
It's the pollen.
And you kind of listening in for that, and those are the only sounds that you hear for the better part of 30 seconds or so.
Okay.
And then eventually you hear, but do you have it? Yeah. Good. Be gone. And then you hear beating of wings.
Do I recognize the voice that was talking there by any chance? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that wasn't the innkeeper.
Yeah, no, it didn't seem... It's definitely not anybody that you've met since coming to Waterdeep, since going to Secomber, from all the travels on the year off, trying to recognize what that voice was. You don't know.
Okay. If they're I guess I'll sort of listen for anything more important or any other kind of things of note. But once that wraps, just kind of pop back and repeat darn near verbatim what I experienced. Gang, I'll say this right now. I think we might have, maybe we left there a little early, who knows? Kind of turned to Ryden. Do you have any protocol for how to deal with this sort of stuff?
What did you hear exactly?
Well, I heard some wing beats. The person I was checking in on was Amelior and Elethe, the Sage of Secomber, who we were familiar with. Unfortunately, it looks like he's been knocked out in some sort of way. He was looking a little worse for wear. There was a voice speaking in some sort of language I didn't understand, and then someone speaking in common, and they were asking if they had it, or actually, sorry, I just want to confirm. They were saying, had you recovered it, or what was the exact?
Do you have it?
Okay.
Good. And then
Okay.
be gone.
Okay, so he was checking in on some sort of, giving some sort of orders to some sort of creature. I heard wing beats. I can only guess maybe it was something similar to what we fought, although that was able to speak common. And whatever it was looking for, it seems to have found. Potentially.
Hey,
Yeah, turn to the doctor. Can you make heads or tails on this?
I might. Previous to that, though, with the news that Amelior's been grievously wounded, shall we say, I want to try and make eye contact with Aluura and Elethe just a little, and be like, I don't want to make it obvious, but just be like, perhaps we should investigate something. Demony voices. Was that what you were trying to do? Okay, cool.
I mean, it didn't sound, how did that sound? That was the first time I've really made those. I have absolutely no experience speaking.
A little like you'd fall into the dark side of the Force and had been there for a couple hundred years, but that's neither here nor there.
That's fair.
It kind of sounds like we might be going back to Secomber a lot quicker than we thought we would be.
Gang, I'll turn to Ryden. Ryden, do you, by any chance, I don't care how expensive this is, does anyone in town have any sort of access to, teleportation?
There are a few mage households within the city, but I don't know if we could call on any of them for something like this. I mean, it's not happening within Waterdeep. That's unfortunately one of the issues with the Lord's Alliance having such a widespread.
Ryden, when are your soldiers heading out?
Well, they had planned to leave today. I don't know if there's much of a point at the moment.
Wait, I'm confused. Do you not care about Secomber at all?
The Lord's Alliance cares about Secomber. The people who are rich enough or powerful enough within the city may not. We can attempt to ask them
How
for
do you
assistance.
feel about it?
Is it worth trying? Taking half a day to try to save us 10?
There are a few avenues that we can take for this. It's something that I shall need to investigate. For now, I would like to finish whatever report you said that you had. So, this entity, a blue Abishai dragon-like Tiamat supporting creature.
You're welcome to this sketch. This is exactly what we saw. It appears that outside of the town, near the high forest. That's what it's called. Yeah. Okay, cool. Near the high forest, we had found a site of some sort of summoning. The summoning was not recent. It had appeared to have been some burnt ground, some burnt branches, as well as the remains, it appeared, of someone who may have been sacrificed to create the portal.
Oh yeah, we've got that.
We have that as well.
Right.
I'm going to present the Fangi.
I'll pull out the fabric swatch as well.
I'm gonna do a little bit where it looks like we're pulling off.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh. Ah.
You can still expect a sort of levity from us.
I'm going to jingle my keys in front of Ryden and hope he laughs. Anyway, we found these things. We have been unsuccessful in trying to determine whose finger it is, but we know it was likely elven in origin. And the scraps of fabric we found appear to have come from a rather finished black cloak, yes?
Yeah, I did further research, asked the experts that I found in Waterdeep, and they didn't have much, but except the fact that it was likely a mass-produced item. It's very fine quality, but it's likely something that's been made multiple times for multiple people. So whether that's a group of people all wearing the same thing, I don't know, but a uniform of some sorts, or cloaks of some sorts that everyone wears the same version of, but there was no specific factors that could show specifically who it was.
Did Elethe and Les share the boat news?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay.
We did.
So to communicate that as well, found not far from the summoning circle, or what remained of it, there was the not remains, but the imprint of a boat, a small boat on the creek, leading towards Secomber, but also away from, that river. Anyway, it's
The
in
river
maps.
is wide enough that they could have been coming upstream or downstream, and they could have left upstream or downstream. There were the tracks of 2 people going towards the summoning circle and 1 returning from the water. I could not discern if they were specific to a species. They looked humanoid.
You see him just
It is
taking a
safe
whole
to
bunch of
assume.
notes.
I apologize, Ryden, please.
No, he's just taking a whole bunch of notes, just letting you all continue.
It would probably be safe to assume then that the person who was left behind and didn't walk back was either the elf or the person they were traveling with. It was Jesus Christ carrying him back when he was too weak to walk on his own.
The former, I think.
Yes, the Jesus one.
Question: to just add a character for a second, when Leif was doing all that scrying and having all those visions, did we relay all that information to Ryden, or are we holding stuff back? I'm just making sure I'm following along.
Well, Leif's whole vision technically hasn't been shared with anybody yet. Right, only you saw that, and then you shared it after you were done. What I'll say is just for... Just so you're not like sitting in a room for 10 minutes watching Leif on the ground. You're all telling Ryden everything that you're saying right now, Doctor, while Leif was doing that, and then Leif's piece will be the addition to that.
Did we ever scry that piece of cloth? I think we tried the finger and we couldn't get through, right?
The finger you couldn't get through, the cloth, because it belongs to an individual, but you don't know, you have any information about that individual, there's no way to scry on that.
Okay, and maybe we'll relay that to Warden Ryden Borsk as well, that we tried, but we couldn't get through.
We end up scrying some merino sheep. Oh, that's where this is from.
New Zealand.
Yeah, oh, cool.
And he's just kind of taking all this in, just writing notes down, and then pauses as you guys pause. Right. Is there anything else?
That's about the bulk of it, isn't it, gang?
I guess so. Leif, how are you doing over there?
We also found that there was another character.
I take a hold of Whisper and I say to Leif, how much do you want to share about what's going on? This is in your head, no one else can hear it. How much do you want to share about what's going on and Gargoth and their connection to you?
I mean, I think it's, maybe excluding Gargoth's connection to me, maybe, share as much as we know, I think.
Because of the pronouns that this Abishai used when it talked about the person it was loyal to, which were he rather than Tiamat, which is female identifying, we have reason to believe that the Abishai might be loyal to Gargoth, which would be very unusual, but doing our research, that's what we found.
What is Gargoth? I'm not familiar with this.
A very ancient and hidden sort of dark god.
Goes by the Hidden Lord in some texts.
Long story short, bad news.
Yeah, and it's unusual.
Not a great fella.
These things are almost always, they're devoutly bound to Tiamat. They have no other lord above her. But Gargoth, Doctor, I forget, is Gargoth above Tiamat in the Nine Hells?
Asmodeus is.
Asmodeus.
Gargoth is kind of this like rogue actor throughout all this.
Yes, we kind of have.
Devil.
There's kind of two possibilities. Could be Asmodeus, could be Gargoth. We kind of got two paths to investigate with that. It's some pretty demoniac stuff. We don't have all the answers on it yet, but we will.
And it may mean that there's factions in the Nine Hells that are turning against one another. I don't know what they want with Secomber, but it seems very unusual.
You and Aluura, he gestures to you, and was there something you wanted to say? You seemed to have something on the tip of your tongue.
No, it's all just, a lot of information. We have, we spent quite a lot of time in the library. The keepers of the books were all very, very helpful for our search. I'm just trying to remember for our...
How's your scrolling doing over there, Leif?
For what? There wasn't anything that I had on my mind. I thought there was, but there was not. It was just...
And he's just kind of taking all this in, and is just like twiddling the pen between his thumb and finger.
I think I've wrapped scrying. I'll kind of hope. Is there anything you...
Yeah. I was wondering, it looked like we may need to do further research on this that wouldn't be available in the library, but was available.
At Candlekeep.
Yeah.
There could be more information there, yes. That's a possibility.
Candlekeep is somewhere that is outside of my purvey. Very strict entrance procedures. My understanding of it from some of the savants of Ogma is that you typically have to present them with some kind of a great knowledge, an ancient tome text of some kind that does not already exist within their shelves.
Do we have some books?
Leif quietly thinks about the tome of understanding that he has.
Deleted. Oh fuck. Casimir's sisters.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm not saying that.
No, yeah, but
Yeah.
you're just
I'm
immediately
just
all
sort
of
of
you
like-
start to think of that a little bit.
Yeah. Leif sweats again. Yeah, so gang, is that wrapping as I'm putting away my little scrying kit? Is there anything else I think that's kind of it for us?
Can I send message to Leif? So Aluura, kind of in her pocket, would kind of around her fingers weave a copper wire around her fingers in her pocket so no one can see it.
Mhm.
And thinks about Leif. How many?
25, I think, if it's similar to
No,
sending.
it's a message. It's you just
what?
whisper a message. We'll say a sentence.
Oh, cool.
Would you like to share the possibility of the furbolgs? Ask about furbolg coming through Waterdeep or Secomber? That would.
Do you want to...
I'm thinking about that, like, fact that there was they were kind of like maybe culty furbolgs.
Classic. And sorry, one thing I know with sending is that the person who receives the message, they innately know that they can respond mentally with message? Is that the same thing?
No, because with message, you actually have to whisper the message. It's not something you have to think about.
No, you point your finger towards a creature with the copper wire within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears
whispering.
Hears
yeah,
the
but you still have to whisper it.
Yeah.
The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Yeah, but you've never used this before. Leif has never used this spell. He doesn't know that he can reply.
Okay.
And he hears it as a whisper, not within his head. It's like actually something that he hears, and he has to speak out
loud. In there.
So if he's thinking that it's sending, he can think it, but it's not going to come through to you. He
actually has to just turn to
the side and actually say something.
Maybe not right now.
I'll kind of just side eye and give a little nod of understanding.
Yeah. Kind of look up to Raiden. Raiden, I'm sure you've got a busier day than you expected. Is there anything we can be doing now, or?
And you can see that he's like visibly kind of at a loss for words. And just no. We're going to have to take some time and discuss what the next steps are going to be for the Alliance. Do you still require access to the Font of Knowledge?
Yes.
Ideally, yeah, that's benefited our search greatly.
Okay. You will maintain your signets. Continue to use them as you need. When you are ready to wrap up the contract, return to me and we will arrange for payment.
We can return to Secomber and see what's happened with your troops.
As can we. You are 6, we are many. If you wish to go, no one is stopping you. But my soldiers were the ones who were there. My second in command is dead.
Listen, Raiden, we are terribly sorry if we had mishandled this in any way, shape, or form. We are obviously not of military reform. We are still very rusty on protocols. I mean, some of us haven't seen each other in quite some time, and we did the best we could, and we apologize for that. If there's anything we can do to make it up to you, perhaps those orcs that were a warband that was nearby, if we can maybe take that off your hands while you go investigate Secomber, anything we can do to try to make it up to you would be willing, I'm sure, to help you out in any way.
It isn't a matter of making it up to me. I do not wish to come across as angered at you or feeling as though you've done some ill will towards me or my colleagues. It's just a difficult situation. If this entity is as powerful as you say it is, the troops there probably wouldn't have stood much of a chance, even if they did have ample warning. This sage that you said that you saw, he's alive, correct?
Leif?
Yeah, no.
If he lives, perhaps he may be able to answer some more questions should we find him. I will be riding at haste. If you wish to return to the city, you are welcome to do so. If you wish to stay in Waterdeep, do that. If you wish to take on another contract, do that. It is entirely up to you. This is one that I myself must vacate my position and make my own way there. I appreciate the information. I truly do. I know this has been a very difficult day, especially you suddenly realizing all of these things had transpired without any warning. It's just hard.
it's never easy to realize that something terrible has happened, and
Is out of your control?
yes,
No.
especially when it's people that you care about who have been hurt. For what it's worth, you may not have need of us at the moment, but we do have specialized skills. If we remain in the city, we'll be available to the guard whether you're or not you're here in case of an emergency.
I will alert the Open Lord, keep her in mind, and let her engage your services if they should be necessary.
Should Leif need to message someone in an emergency the way that he did to you on the way here?
Always me, right now.
With you. Fair enough. And I would imagine that the Open Lord's protected from any kind of access like that at any given time. If they cannot get a hold of you.
Protected is an understatement.
That's fair. If there's anyone on your team that's able to do something similar to get in contact with us, that would be much appreciated.
Yes.
We'll probably be able to act a lot quicker.
Just, if you are to make any major changes, moving cities, taking another contract, just let me know. I would rather know exactly where it is that you guys find yourselves.
Royden, do you have a map of the trip from the path from here to Secomber that I can show you a mark or two on?
Well, I have the map that I provided you before you left.
Right, and then I don't know who has it, but I'll pull it out and I will show him on the map the couple of places that we camped and where the orc cave was up in the mountains above that. And I'll say there's something a little out of the ordinary. There's an orc chieftain who's united several groups, and there's at least 40 of them. They've preyed on several travelers. We happened to see that there were the remains of some traveling caravans, the occupants of which had been dispatched. And we managed to, pass by quietly, stealthily, and you may have enough firepower to keep them at bay, but they're quite dangerous and they have numbers.
Additionally, I'd like to point out on the map of Secomber where the summoning circle was.
Mm-hmm.
So the map of Secomber is, because it's so far north, it's actually not on the map, but you can kind of give him an idea of roughly where it is. A little over 2 hours travel north and then northeast towards the southern part of the Unicorn Run.
I'm satisfied with that.
Okay. Is there anything else y'all want to do, or
retail therapy, maybe?
Turn to Ride and say, "We're if you need us, we'll let you know where we are."
Mm-hmm. Something. Okay, there's something Elethe wants to know. I don't mean to metagame, but I also don't want to be like, "Hey, Raiden, NPC, tell me about the city." But I need to know how to send a message from city to city. And Raiden mentioned ravens. Would Elethe know after spending time in Waterdeep if that's something that anyone could access, or does she need to sort of, in this situation, would it be wise of me to take advantage of the fact that we're here and ask him about using a raven?
No, that's things that everybody has access to. Messages need to travel north, south, south, north fairly often. There are raven roosts that can be used, and you would just essentially pay a nominal fee to have a message be delivered to a specific larger city.
Well, thanks. Sorry, I didn't want to be like, so Raiden, is there any way to send a message? Can you tell me more about the intercity raven messaging right now?
What's your raven plan like, Raiden? How many megabytes you get? How much data you got?
Got about 30 messages every 3 months. It's an intercity plan.
Oh, that's a rough plan.
Yeah, you got 10 friends that you can send unlimited messages to.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
What is this, 2004?
It was 2010.
It's 2020 in Canada.
Yeah.
Anyhow, shall we?
Yeah, let's continue on.
Right, and before we leave,
Here we go.
in case I don't think it's just me that would be supporting saying this, but we wish you all the best of luck with you and your men in further investigating whatever has happened to the people of Secomber. But should you need any backup or any assistance of any kind, would your troops, mages, would anyone have access to any type of sending stones or anything that could give us quicker access to contacting you in case the worst should happen?
Don't worry about that. If there is a situation where I need to reach out to you, I have my ways.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Maybe that's why he doesn't wear a shirt. It's part of his pelt.
Sure, it's totally
I will
possible.
take my leave.
Thank you, Raiden.
And he just kind of,
First, stands
unsure
up
of exactly what to say, he just stands up and just kind of...
I think we just let that one
Yeah.
hang.
Yeah, we're all just sitting there. Oh, okay.
Bye.
We like being at the castle.
Should we regroup outside?
Yeah,
Probably
Laura's
not the
walking out
worst
door.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess make our way back
kind
out.
of make your way across
to the
the
promenade.
courtyard, and you kind of leave Raiden. He was just standing inside, and he just kind of leans up against a wall and just... was just kind of like staring at the dirt a little bit, trying to figure out exactly how to compose himself.
Let's out a loud fuck.
So you guys pass your way across the courtyard, out through the gate, back into the city, and then just kind of start to saunter down the road.
So I'll turn to the rest of the group. Gang, I know we said this in there, but we might have mishandled that a little.
Yeah.
It's
There's,
a good pointer. We don't
Yeah,
know.
I thought we were gonna send a message earlier, like when we left Secomber.
I mean, we are relatively seasoned. We know what we're doing. We're a bunch of spicy boys, as they say. We barely stood a chance against that thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who's
we're
to
rus-
say that a village filled with, new recruits and one seasoned warrior and one good wizard stood any
stand-
more of a chance?
Yeah.
Have
I will say... Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, have I relayed at all what I saw to the rest of the group?
It's up to you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Gang, like when I was scrying on Amelior, it sounded like, I mean, he's out. And it sounds like there was someone talking to some sort of thing, and they were searching for something. And they've got it. I think.
Is that what those noises were that you were making?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was trying my best.
Can you describe the sounds and like the type of language it was?
So,
What exactly were you hearing?
Leif, the intelligence check before was to reiterate the sounds.
Yeah. Can I?
But you recognize that you've heard this type of sound before.
Have I heard it spoken by anyone in the group?
You've heard it spoken between Hope and Rick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Aluura?
Oh, yes.
What is it?
Well, it's whatever language
Abyssal.
yourself and Hope and Rick can speak.
Infernal?
Infernal.
Oh no.
Oh, that's the one.
Infernal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, specifically the two that you've heard speaking that are Hope and Rick, because they've had the conversations when Rick has been on Hope's shoulder
true.
away
Yeah.
from the doctor.
Yeah.
So that
So it's
that's
safe.
kinda-
So we'd say it's demons, maybe.
it's pretty safe to say that's
Demonic in nature.
We do have to be very careful about this, and trust me, as somebody who's been riding around with many different villages who look the way I do, if you give people a reason to be suspicious, they'll take it. And the fact that we left that town and didn't let the local guards know what was going on, I mean,
Well,
we probably
on
get
the
a couple
plus side-
passes, but
On the plus side, there probably aren't many local guards left to tattle on us.
that's true. Yeah, that problem has probably sorted itself out. We've
Yeah.
no,
there's
but
been-
Raiden knows.
It's true.
I don't think he was. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
We made mistake, but it's as he says, even if we had made a full report, what difference would it have made? They didn't have at the time the kind of defenses in a couple of days to lay to prevent a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere from being annihilated.
They said that 3 demons were able to kill 50-ish men. That's a big number. It's a hell of a ratio for them.
I mean, I don't know, we missed the timing on that. It's unfortunate. It's kind of turn to the doctor. Do you by any chance know anyone in the city that might be able to get us some sort of, teleportation or teleportation circle? Even like, what would Baldur's Gate help?
I mean, we can ask. We can head back to the bowels and see if the guys there know anyone. It's possible.
There's a couple of other places I want to hit before we leave as we're doing this as well.
Are we in agreement of are we thinking of going back to Secomber? Is there any point?
Well, we could loot Amelior's tower. That could be fun.
That's true. Yeah, there was some...
If there's a tower left to loot.
There's rubble.
I think...
I wish there was just some sort of community or something around here. I don't know if anyone knows of any darker dealings within Waterdeep. Any, groups or anything that maybe fly under the radar that might have access to teleportation circles or something like that.
How dark are we talking, Les?
I mean, if it gets the job done, it really matters.
Well, we can certainly put some feelers out.
When I was walking around the other day, I found there's like a couple potion shops, a weapons shop for items, and then when the doctor and I were walking before, there was that armor shop. And I had to meet you all, so I didn't go in at the library. But I'd like to go around and run a couple errands, see what's out there.
I think the doctor and I would like to go and take a look at the job posting board as well, just to see if anything has changed, or
maybe there's some fun new contracts we could look at.
That's fair.
That's a very good idea.
There might be potentially some information about, or hidden information about teleportation circles there also.
Right. And I just sort of say in Aluura's mind with whisper, like, it'll be interesting if Amelior's name is crossed out.
Yeah. I will respond. Saying
Yeah,
yes.
you can
Whispered.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Do we want to split up then? Does anyone want to go to Saren's Fine Swords with me?
I mean, I'll accompany you if you need help.
Those swords sound pretty fine.
I would
Look
love
forward.
to accompany you, Leif.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah.
I need to find a rookery as well, and send a raven.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, seems like everyone's sort of working together. Should we all just hit the boards and grab some stuff? I mean, I think
we can snake through.
Seems like there's a lot of avenues for us to take after.
We're all going to the boards, and then we're going to go to the sword spot.
All go together. All pretty close. It's all within the same area, right? I think.
Well, there's multiple job posting boards. The one that you went to specifically was the one that was kind of on the border between the castle ward and the trades ward.
Oh, that's great.
So it's kind of on your way back.
Okay.
But the city itself is huge. Right.
Doctor, do you know the job posting board that we were at last time? Is that the most prominent and the biggest board in the city? Is there...
Majority.
They're all identical. The purpose for the different boards is that they're simply just more spread out around the city, so people don't have to travel for an hour to pick up a contract.
I see.
Okay. So it doesn't matter which board we check.
No, I'll say the only thing that may be different between boards would be the specific thieves' cant. You haven't been to any other boards, so you don't know if the same thieves' cant exists in other ones, but you know that in some of the other cities that you've been in, there are sometimes boards that are specifically used for thieves' cant.
Okay, so let's go. I'm not going to relay that, but
but you would know that.
let's check the one that we were at before. I think that's on our way, most easily on our path. And then I'll again whisper to Elethe. I'd like to check out a couple of the other boards after.
Okay. All right. So making your way, heading east out from the castle, just along one of the main roads, and eventually through into just on the edge of the castle ward and the trades ward, and you find the same bounty board that had been there before. So the bounties that are placed upon it, you see that there are the two same ones that had been there about 2.5-3 weeks ago at this point. One specifically for the Orc Warlord that was in the mountains a little bit north of the road to Secomber. And then the other one was for some kind of a water-based entity that was residing within the High Moor, kind of picking off travelers and anybody who was scavenging within the High Moor.
Okay.
What about the ones in Thieves'
Anything in Thieves' Cant? Oh, Elethe, do you see anything? I know you're wanting to practice.
Okay. And I go up and check for Thieves' Cant. I know that we both saw that Amelior's name was there last time.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of looking around on the board, doing your best, and Aluura, you kind of like tracing over where the eye line is and making sure that nothing gets missed. You notice that where Amelior's name was previously has been gouged out, where it's now a clean, flat slate.
Okay.
And then the other name that was also there, that one is still present.
What's the other one?
The other one is...
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah, you wrote it down.
Zaya Borefoot?
Yeah, Zaya Borefoot.
Zaya
I think I wrote that down too, but I'm going to read it again.
Okay.
Fuck.
And there's nothing else in Thieves' Cant. It's just those two names.
So it's the one name that is still present, and the other one looks
Right.
as if somebody has taken a piece of sandpaper and sanded it smooth, where it's been completely removed.
So I'm kind of new to this. I'm not saying this out loud, sorry. I'll just say to Aluura, aren't they usually crossed out? Are they always sanded away? Like they were never there?
Jordy, what do I...
So crossed out is I'm interested.
Yeah.
Sanded smooth is contract complete, or no longer required.
Oh.
Yeah, that would sort of make sense. So the board isn't just like filled with these little cross notches.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, usually it's contract complete, but sometimes it's no longer required.
Okay.
Leif's looking at the board. Oh, there's a buy one get one free at the Fellhauer's Fine Fish. That's pretty cool. What are y'all looking at? Or anything? Actually, I'm probably not seeing. They're not like staring.
No, they're not actively staring at it. They're just kind of like looking at the board and just like kind of like holding up one of the pamphlets, and just like one eye just goes this way.
Cool.
One of the rogue lessons Aluura taught me is like how to look like cool and like I'm not doing anything when I actually am.
How to hair flip.
I taught her how to do a hair flip.
Bend and snap.
Given the information we now have, fellas, I think I'm going to head back to the inns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to see if we can't procure some sort of teleportation circles. Ping me if we need anything.
Do you mind if?
Shop or anything? Oh, sorry, Leif.
I was gonna say, do you need? Are you gonna do that by yourself, or do you mind if I tag along? I'm a little curious about this kind of stuff.
Oh, of course, you're welcome to join.
If it harshes, your mellow, you just let them know I'm cool. I promise. Cool, and I'll.
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. I'll kind of.
I wanted to insight check that, but we can't.
Do either of you want me to look for anything for you, like at the potion shop or at the weapons shop?
If they got any fancy cloaks, I'd be interested. But,
okay.
Or like a fancy lighter armors, that'd be nice. Yeah. But
I think we went to the shop that actually was specialized in armor, and they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't have nothing.
I will keep my eye out because I'm looking for the same thing. All right.
Cool.
Less hope, Aluura. Do you guys want to come to the?
Yep.
Do you want to go shopping?
I'll join you.
All right.
I'll come along.
Mm-hmm.
All right. we'll start off with you four then. So you've got a couple of different places. Obviously, you can go within the city. Where would you like to start?
Les and Hope, did you want to go to the armor shop that the doctor and I had been to before? Or do you want to just, I don't need to go there because I know what they have for me and it's very expensive and I'm not going to get it yet. But I could take his there and then we could hit the other two.
I wouldn't mind. What about you, Les? I kind of want to compare it to my current armor.
Right, yeah. I mean, I've got this fancy mithril for the longest time, and I mean, I do like it, but I could check out other options, see what's up.
They had a couple pieces that were already made. That had the contracts on them hadn't been fulfilled, so they were selling them off a little bit cheaper than the custom-made items would cost. So we can try that out. So I had been there before with Doc. I'll lead the way and bring everyone to that shop.
Okay, so heading to the halls of Hilmer.
On the way there, can I, Les, your armor, if you end up finding something that's better, do you think that would be something that would work for myself? Is mithril, can I wear it?
So it depends on what your armor proficiencies are. I'm pretty sure you're proficient with light armor.
Light and... Is it just light and heavy?
It's light, medium, and heavy.
I think I'm light and medium. I will check.
Let me just double check.
I've got it written down. I've got it written down.
Nope.
No,
armor, light armor.
I don't have it written down. I have to go get my book.
It's only light armor.
It's only light armor, so I can't wear it?
I'm just double checking. Yeah. Both rogue and bard is light armor only.
Is it a medium armor?
Yeah.
So I can wear that. But
I don't know if I'm getting rid of it yet, guys. So let's not all grumpy at the mouth go for my armor just yet.
I know.
All right. So heading to the halls of Hilmer. So you push your way inside, door clangs open, blast of heat from all the forges coming up, all the bellows going, and clanging of metal as a series of dwarves are running around in the back. A couple of people at this front end, kind of ignoring just everybody who's there. Normally, you kind of just have to flag someone down if you want to talk to them about anything. But you see different sets of armors are all hung on the walls, everything from very fine, regular light armor, all the way up through the leathers, studded leather, chain shirts, chain mail, plate armor, half plate. Essentially any kind of standard armor that you feel like you would want to purchase, you're able to get. And then there are two fine items that are both in glass display cases, one of which is a set of half plate armor, and in front of that there is a tag associated with it. The tag for the half plate is half plate armor, which is mithril half plate, and it's 2,000 gold pieces is the price. And then there's full plate armor as well, and that's full plate armor of acid resistance, which is 7,000 gold pieces.
To ask a numbers question, Jordy.
Yep.
A half plate, the mithril. How well would that help defend a person?
Yeah. So for half plate armor, is 15 is the base AC plus your dex modifier with a maximum of 2, so it's a maximum of a 17 AC, but you're at disadvantage on stealth checks.
Okay, that's not worth it for me then.
Full plate armor is an 18 flat. You don't get any dex bonus, but you also have to have a minimum of a 15 strength to use it, and again you're at disadvantage on stealth checks.
That's why I didn't take the mithril, because I found it, and I'm like, I know there's a reason that I didn't roll that. And I am proficient with medium armor, but stealth though.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, Kev, remind me if I'm wrong, but it's scale?
Oh. I have chainmail mithril.
Okay, so so chainmail is a base AC of 16. You don't add anything to it, it's just your AC is 16.
Yeah, my AC is 16, but I don't have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Yeah, and that's what the mithril offers, is that it doesn't give you disadvantage on stealth checks, where normally it would.
So the mithril half plate armor would still have that property.
Yeah, mithril half plate still has that property, but you would get your dex bonus of up to 2. So in your case, it would go from 16. What's your dex bonus, Kevin? Is it +2 or +1?
+1.
+1. So yeah, so it's no different for you.
Yeah, it's not really better off for me either.
Yeah,
sadly.
the half plate or the full plate armor is more interesting, right? Straight AC of 18, but you're at disadvantage on your stealth checks, and it's obviously very expensive.
Yeah, I'm already at disadvantage, sadly. So it really doesn't work for me. It's just like a lot of money but my AC I already have down as 18.
Well, but that's 18 with a shield, right?
No,
sorry, yeah, never mind, I'm crazy.
Yeah, so these are very fine pieces, and I appreciate you bringing us here, Leif, but I think I'm best served with what I have currently.
Yeah, fair enough. So, Jordy, sorry, just because I didn't realize I was actually proficient with medium armor, but it just causes disadvantage with dexterity or with stealth checks.
So the benefit of light armor is that you get your full dex bonus. With medium armor, it's always that your dex bonus, so you can only use 2 points from your dex bonus, but the base AC on the armor is higher. So like studded leather, for instance, is 12 plus your total dexterity modifier. A breastplate is 14 plus your dexterity modifier with a maximum of 2. Right, so it's a max of 16. Whereas studded leather, you could have a +5 to your dex, and then you're on 17.
Okay, so with the mithril plate not causing a disadvantage on stealth,
it would be 15 plus a maximum of 2 to your dex, so it'd be a 17 AC.
That's still better than what I have now. And then I also have the
Well, what is your thing now?
It says 16, and I have
What's your dex bonus?
4.
Yeah, so that's right, because you're in studded leather, right?
No, it should be 17 actually, because I have the cloak of protection, which is +1 to my AC.
Okay, so then so it should be 17. So apparently you've been easier to hit.
Yeah. But then if I got this mithril plate, I would be.
You'd go up by 1.
By 1.
Yeah. Your armor would be 17, and then the cloak would give you a +1 for 18.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if +1 AC is worth 2,000 gold. We'll see.
I'm gonna approach there's a blacksmith like at his desk, at the front desk there.
The blacksmiths are all just in the background. You just see people, if they want something, they just yell over the forges, and somebody will eventually come up front.
Oh, excuse me, hello, could I have some help here, please?
And you see kind of like some dumpy dwarves in the background, just kind of, you go. Tank clang the tongs down, and then just kind of thud over. Yeah, what you want?
Hello there, my short, bearded friend. I would.
You call me short.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Are you not?
Oh boy.
Fair enough.
Great. So, I'd like to inquire to you. I see you've got some mithril half plate here. You've got some armor over here. I'm looking to buy big, let's just say. And I've noticed that you've got plate armor here. You've got mithril half plate armor here. What would be the going rate, let's say, for you to mix the mithril full plate armor together?
Mithril full plate.
That's right.
And he and you can tell he's probably not very good at math. You probably got the one guy who's just like gets shoved up front to just make some quick sales, and so he kind of disappears into the back for a couple of minutes, and then you just kind of like see them figuring it out and like writing out some numbers and scratching stuff down on a pad, and he just kind of comes up with a pad of paper and just slaps it down and points at it, and it shows up as 6,000 silver pieces or 6,000 gold pieces.
6,000 gold pieces for mithril plate armor, right?
Correct. Yeah. Standard full plate armor is 1,500, so it's about 4 times as expensive.
Right. And I know you dwarves, I know you have an affinity for shiny, very valuable things. I don't know if, you prefer gold, or you might prefer one of these. And I reach into my one of my many pouches, and I pull out one of the diamonds that I have from that treasure hoard that I got back in that wolf cave.
Okay. How much is the diamond worth?
5,000 gold pieces.
5,000
Each
gold?
Each diamond is worth 5,000 gold pieces, according to D&D Beyond.
What?
Wait, what? No, there's no way.
Yeah, that would be
I put 3 diamonds in D&D Beyond, and it said all of them are worth
No,
50,000
because
gold.
different sizes of diamonds are worth different amounts. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Are we gonna...
Hang on.
We're treating poor dwarf like a bird right now?
Retroactive here. Hang
I
on.
like shiny things.
Well,
werewolf.
they don't have tons of mines going down, like mining for good behavior. They're mining for diamonds and rubies and gold and
Okay, werewolf den.
trying to sweeten the deal.
I'm pretty sure I wrote down all the stuff from the werewolf den
Nope,
too.
3 100 gold piece diamonds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Add a 0 on it. It's 1,000 now.
He was
like
saying
a pull this
5,000.
diamond.
5,000.
Pull out this diamond. It's just a shitty, cracked, like little piece.
Well, no, 100 gold pieces. It's still a substantial piece, but it's not like the orb-sized diamond that you just straight up trade for something.
Right. Well, I got to fix that in my old little D&D Beyond thing.
I love that D&D
All right.
Beyond's go-to is like, oh, you got a diamond? 5,000 gold.
I don't know why.
like
I'll
autofill
look back at that. I'll still do the same action and be like, what would you trade for the shiny, good, like, diamond piece? And just pull out what I think is a really, like, awesome diamond, but it's really just a little, like, small sucker.
And he just kind of like reaches up and like puts a hand up over his head for the diamond. And you just kind of pop it in, and he just kind of like takes one of the magnifying glasses and affixes it in his eye and just like right up against it to try and really determine clarity. He's like, 100 gold. And then tosses it back up in the air at you like it's not worth very much.
Yeah. All right. Let's judge that one. All right. 7,000 gold, you said.
6.
6. All right. Well, I may come back for that at some point. Put it back.
Takes about 200 days to craft it.
Noted. Also, Jesus Christ, I very much have not made things in quite some time.
As kind of walks away, I sidle up to the dwarf and hold out my 500 GP aquamarine and say, so, but are you interested in trade at this shop at all?
Trades are always welcome.
Good to know. I feel like I'm buying into like dwarf stereotypes in like a very non-PC in-game kind of way here, but does he to look at all like, ooh, like diamonds or like gems? Like, no.
Not at all. Like, he's in a
Just a
selling
regular
business.
guy.
It's not like he's like a guy who's been prospecting for the better part of 3 years without finding anything. He
Well, you're
works in
telling
an
me
industry
you're
where
gonna
the thousands of gold pieces of coin go
You're
across the
gonna roll up
table
to
in
see-
both directions each way.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
to be fair, I thought my diamond was like a $5,000 diamond. Mine was just $100 diamond.
Yeah.
Trying to get him with a prop diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I might, we'll see what's at the other couple shops, but it might be worth it to make myself a little harder to hit, as if it doesn't make me too noisy.
And let me know when we're on our way out. I want to say something to Les.
I think we're leaving now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Les, just remember as well, diamonds specifically are very useful to Leif in a couple of the things that he is talented at doing that are very helpful to us in dire need.
Right. That's right.
So, diamonds and specifically, we should likely keep those ones.
Diamonds are Furbolg's best friend.
Diamonds are a cleric's best friend.
That Aluura, I can also perform that spell.
You can.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, Hope, I didn't know that.
I can, yeah. So we're a very helpful duo to have around.
We're all very thankful that you are here. Do you have any diamonds currently?
I think I do, but I will need to double check that.
I was gonna say I'm not here, but I can probably interject. I know I have a bunch of there were things that I was trading just to have diamonds, and I think I'm holding on to some other diamonds, and I'm pretty sure Hope has a similar setup.
Okay.
Okay.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right, so making your way out, following Elethe's guidance and heading over to the weapons shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the weapons shop, you end up passing so outside of the castle ward, which is where the halls of Hilmer are, and you kind of head east a little bit into the trades ward, and you find your way to Cairn's Fine Swords.
Jordy, sorry, as we go, I would be keeping an eye out for anywhere, like a rookery or anywhere that sent ravens to or from different cities as well if we pass something.
Okay, go and make just a perception check for me.
Okay. Check that P. All right.
Daytime disadvantage, though.
Fuck me. All right.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Natural 1. 10.
10. Okay. Wow, you get on a natural 1. It's a 10. Yeah, it's fine, actually. You kind of like looking up at the sky. You end up just kind of like looking around and like squinting because you find yourself looking directly at the sun for a moment, like doing the. But you eventually track a couple of black spots along the sky, and it does appear to be that some kind of central focus point where they seem to be flying out from is on the northern side of the city. You're not entirely sure where, but probably somewhere within the North Ward or the Sea Ward.
Okay.
All right. So making your way into Cairn's Fine Swords, you push in through the entrance, and you see that there's a pair of crossed swords kind of just over the front door. And pushing inside, it's a fairly similar setup, but in comparison to dwarves, this is more elves. And you see a lot of them in the background working on the bellows, working on the forges, very fine pointed hammer tings, and a couple of straps of leather as the blades are being slid across to hone very, very fine points. And again, though, you see kind of the run-of-the-mill pieces. You've got swords hanging on wall mounts of different sizes and varieties, everything from daggers to sabers through some of the larger glaives. And then there are a couple of very, very fine pieces that are behind the counter in comparison to in the Dwarven shop where they were out in display in the front area. These ones are kind of behind but are posted with two very fine tags. One of them is listed as a javelin of lightning, so it has a lightning imbuement into it. And then the other one is it's just simply listed as very fine short sword. You're not entirely sure what it does, but it is listed as a very fine short sword. And the price tags, the javelin is about 1,500 gold, and the short sword is 4,000 gold.
Can I cast detect magic?
Yeah, you certainly can.
Okay.
So the javelin immediately pings magical. The short sword, funnily enough, does not.
Okay.
But looking at the balance point on it, looking at the size of the handle, the very, very fine, discreet pommel, the very intricate guard on it, it is a very fine piece.
Can I add some flair?
Sure.
Can I look at the shopkeeper?
Yeah.
Ask, may I towards the fine sword?
And he just kind of like looks at you and then reaches behind him and just like very daintily, 2 fingers, picks up the butt end of the short sword, and it looks as if he's holding it effortlessly in the air, and then just kind of like places it tip down on the table and leans it down.
I'll take it, and to cast detect. I'm gonna use that to cast detect magic by like flourishing with that sword.
Oh, sure, that works.
Yeah. Okay,
and you just kind of flourish it a little bit, and then your eyes kind of just glint a little, and you catch the radiation coming, or the radiance coming off of the javelin of lightning, of very, very strong evocation magic.
Okay. And when I'm holding the sword, I'm still not getting anything from it, just that it's real beautiful.
But the blade it feels impossibly light in your hand. Even for a short sword, there's no weight to moving it side to side. Like, you can move it very rapidly, but with a strike, it feels as if there are weights inside the blade that shift to give penetrating power when you actually push through with the sword. And you would imagine to be a very, very, very strong, sharp blade to cut through different types of armor.
Cool. Jordy, okay. With Aluura flourishing this blade, does it look to have the same sort of like properties as my adamantine scimitar?
Well, it's not made of adamantine, but the adamantine scimitar is a heavier blade, right? Mm-hmm. It definitely has a nice fine edge to it, but metal itself that's used to make it is a very heavy one. This seems to be more on the opposite side, where it doesn't have crushing power. It has stabbing power. And I'll say, Aluura, just go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me.
$19.
19. You get the feeling that you've worked with some very fine weapons in your day. This is the next level of finery. This is the same kind of feeling that you get when you see Hope swinging their greatsword. So you would imagine, to put a number on it, this would probably be a +2 short sword. So it's +2 to attack rolls and damage rolls.
Huh.
That must be it.
So it is a magical...
It is not a magical weapon.
It's not magical, it's just...
It's a very sharp...
construction...
Yeah, the construction of the blade.
Of the sword. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing in D&D.
Yeah.
I just got really excited about the game.
Yeah, it's no different, like, if you...
D&D is so great!
Yeah. Taking a very, very finely made katana versus one that you buy on Amazon for $150. Right? One is going to be able to cut through a whole lot of stuff, and one of them is going to get caught a little bit.
A lot of water bottles.
Right. Okay, but it's not...
Is this fine
magical
Hanzo steel?
There is a bit of a Damascus edge to it. If anybody knows what that means.
Shopkeep, do you mind if you could tell me some more about this lightning javelin over here?
And the elven guy behind the counter just kind of turns and... yes, the Javelin of Lightning is quite an interesting piece. It transfigures itself into a bolt when you throw it.
Oh.
That's so
So,
cool.
do you mind if I give it a little handle there?
Don't throw it.
I'm gonna throw it. I promise.
All right.
Eddie, I won't throw it anymore.
And he kind of reaches behind him, and then he just passes the javelin over to you. And feeling it, it looks very normal, but the exception is that you see that there's kind of like a black crack through the center of the wood, as if the tree that it was cut from was struck by lightning, and you get those kind of blackened grooves and the spider veining burning etchings coming off of it. And he just kind of, if I may, and he just reaches forward. Clear, and then just hucks the javelin across to a target on the other side. And you see that as it leaves his hand, it kind of, the last couple of inches of it just kind of catch onto his hand, and then his hand kind of emits a very small bolt, and the entire javelin turns into a streaking bolt of white and blue lightning, and then impacts and turns back into a javelin, but whole series of arcing lightning bits come off of where it impacted, and anything that's kind of metal or wood between him and where the target was has got little arcs that have jumped to it, and you can see little bits of smoke coming up from the wood areas.
So would I be able to determine like what the lightning properties would be, just as far as like damage and stuff goes, or?
Sure. So, Javelin of Lightning. I'm just going to pull this up just to make sure.
That is so cool, by the way. I love that. It's like a Greek god's spear.
So when you hurl it and you speak its command word, it transforms into a bolt of lightning, forming a line 5 feet wide that extends out from you to a target within 120 feet. Each creature in the line, excluding you and the target, has to make a dex save to dodge lightning that's crackling off of the bolt. They take lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much on a success. The bolt turns back into a javelin when it reaches the target, and on the hit, it deals regular javelin damage plus the lightning damage.
So what would that be altogether? Like, what hit die are we talking?
A lot of different hit dice.
Okay.
It's
how much is that?
It's a strength-based weapon. It's 1,500 gold.
I would definitely like to buy that. I'm just like, as soon as I see the explosion crackling, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, that does look like your kind of weapon, Les.
Been wanting to try out a new toy for so long. I mean, I love Mr. Pointy Bloody Spear, but... could give it a little sibling to play with.
And one thing that you did notice as well is that he obviously picked up the weapon off of the rack that was on the side there and threw it, and it turned into lightning, which immediately makes you realize, wait, he doesn't have a connection to this weapon, and it makes you realize this is not an attunement weapon.
Nice.
Ooh.
I would like that, please. I would like that, please. I would like that, please. Is there anything I can do? I got too excited. I'll let you guys finish your conversations first before I get to it.
Elethe, are you interested in this short sword?
I mean, I am, but it's a little steep for me. I'm definitely looking to find something that's sort of similar to that has a bit more oomph to it, but are you wanting to buy it?
No, it's not, it's just a little bit better than what I've got. It's
fair enough.
Beautiful, but I think having something that is decidedly magical in damage is important. Seeing this type of things we're going up against recently.
I know what you mean. Can I try it out? And
that's what I was asking for, and I would hand it over to.
Jordy, are they like wood elves, high elves in this shop?
Mostly appear to be wood elves. Yeah, which tend to be the more common ones. I mean, being as close as they are this far north to the high forest and a lot of the wooded areas in and around, wood elves tend to be the more dominant ones.
I'm guessing there's no drow?
No drow working within the shop.
Okay. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I would have also, as I passed it over, sent a message to Elethe saying that it is what I suspect about it, that it's not magical, but it is very strong in the amount of damage it would be doing.
Yeah, and
basically conveying it's a +2.
I like the idea of also not having something that needs to be attuned that is got some good qualities. Anyway, nobody's giving me like a weird look for being a drow, are they? Okay, cool. I know Waterdeep's a very like diversity. I haven't really been around like a lot of elves before in this campaign. So it's kind of just like, I'm like, oh yeah, my people, like it's kind of weird. Do you, speaking to the person at the counter, do you offer enchanting services as well?
Of course, we do that as well.
Okay, interesting, good to know. What kind of enchantments do you have available?
Well, magicians have the ability to enchant a series of different things. Lightning, fire capabilities, make weapons simply better than they were before.
And what kind of price range is that for those sort of different services?
Depends on the difficulty of the enchantment, what the requirements would be for you. General enchantment to add a bit of elemental damage, usually in the 1,000 gold range, taking about 50 days.
Right, good to know. I'm just gonna try this out here and take this.
And he kind of gestures over, and there's a few, you can see dummy targets that are over on the side for you to test.
And as Elethe kind of goes off to the side to do that, I'm gonna walk back up to the elf with the javelin. I put on the table. Like, oh, this is a very fine piece, my man. Just a little bit curious though, and I'm gonna kind of lean in to kind of keep our conversation between the two of us. Like, look, I didn't want to say this out loud. You know, maybe special people listening in. You never really know, but we're here on some very official Waterdeep business, and I pull out the sigil, the font of knowledge, like the sigil that gives us access to the font of knowledge and all places. We're here on official, very secretive Waterdeep business. We're investigating the very dark dealings that the local government has hired us to do, and you know, this weapon could become very useful in our fight against what is to come. If you were to give us any kind of help, any kind of special discount of any sort, I'd be sure to tell the people, the higher ups, of what you did. Maybe give your shop a bit more prominence on the way up. Saying.
Right now, Les is 100% the guy who goes up to the bar and is like, I know the owner. If you give me free drinks, I know he'll like give you better chefs.
So he just kind of like stares down at the signet and just kind of like leans back and just crosses his arms and just... So you're not a part of the Lord's Alliance. You were contracted by them to carry out a job and you're expecting favors in doing so.
Well, you know, just saying.
The price is 1,500.
Is there anything that you offer? Do you do any type of dealings or discounts or anything? Anything that I could do for you in your shops as we're out traveling, traversing around, dealing with dangerous things to keep your city safe? You know, just putting it out there.
Hold on a moment. And he just, kind of intrigued by that offer, ends up heading into the back a little bit, and you see him discussing with one of the other elves there, and kind of look back up at you and the four of you up front, and just kind of... And then they lean in quite close, and the same one ends up coming back and just... And there is a very specific type of wood. Makes some of the finest handles for our weapons, but with a limited staff, it is a bit difficult to be able to acquire it a lot of the time. The wood is found north of Waterdeep, following the Tribor Trail to an area referred to as the Lurkwood.
The Mirkwood?
Lurkwood.
Lurkwood, okay.
Heading deep into the forest, it used to be an area where a lot of elves called home, but as the presence of man expanded and the presence of dwarves grew further west from the mountains, it became too enclosed for us, so we were forced to relocate. Searching within there is a specific type of tree, black bark, and when you pull the bark, the tree itself bleeds red. Bringing us back a good amount of this, a deal could be struck.
So if I were to say, as a show of good faith, pay you in full price, and I were to say, come back with this black bark, would I be able to perhaps get a little bit of a reimbursement, maybe start a mutual beneficial relationship?
Well, the offer would be a straight across. If you bring us the wood, you would get the javelin, or if you wish to purchase the weapon today and bring us the wood, we would refund you in full.
Does that offer work for anybody?
Depending on the amount of wood, of course, but usually the amount that could be carried by a single party would be in the 1,500 range.
Maybe there could be multiple parties that... You might need a guide in the wood.
Don't squelch on my deal, at least. This is my thing.
There is only so much that we have the ability to store. One of the interesting features of this wood is that it becomes brittle and cracks unless kept under very specific conditions. That is the reason why the bark bleeds when it is pulled, is that liquid, that sap that resides within the wood keeps it treated and keeps it fresh. You would typically only have perhaps a week or two to get it back to us before the wood would become too brittle for us to use.
How far is this Lurkwood from here?
Substantially far north. You'd be looking at traveling along the Tribor Trail. And I would estimate 12 days, 14 days.
So there's no way to get it back without it being soured, without some sort of teleportation spell of some kind or something then?
If you maintain the bark around the outside, there is a chance that it could be brought back. Elsewise, I would recommend returning with haste.
How about this? Do you have any containers back there that I would be able to seal this bark in that would help the transit process?
One moment. And he just kind of hops into the back, and they kind of discuss it for a little bit. And then another elf ends up coming up to the front and, yes, I had heard that you might be interested in acquiring some of this wood. The problem is that the storage for it is not a cheap item. It would be something where we would need some kind of collateral to provide you the item.
Collateral? Or
To ensure that you would not run off with something that would be capable of storing this exquisite wood.
Right.
Exquisite wood.
We could write a contract. That would hold both parties accountable, and for whatever reason I should run up with said thing, it would be my head.
And they just kind of look at each other and just kind of... Interesting. You're quite an intelligent man. I like your thinking. All right.
Can I insight check their look at each other?
Yeah, of
At
course.
the mention of contract?
They're in love. That's it.
That's fine.
I'd be down with that.
Get that discount.
That'll be a 10.
10. They seem genuinely surprised that this thought came from Les.
Okay.
Yeah. But they just kind of... That could be arranged. All right. Allow us to draw up the terms. And he kind of gestures over and ends up having heading off to the side and grabbing a few stacks of parchment and a quill and starts writing out a fairly simple contract. Essentially for the spear value for the a certain weight of the wood that would be brought back. And the weight of the wood being brought back would be 250 pounds of the wood to be returned to them.
Can I carry that amount of wood?
In the box, you could, but you would have to figure out a way. It's like a 2-week journey, so you definitely have to take a caravan or horses or something to be able to get there, and then probably bring it back in the caravan.
All right.
So it would be for 250 pounds of the wood. The wood is referred to as
Black bark.
no. Hang on, I have it here. Why did I do this? The wood is referred to as mopane.
Okay.
So it's mopane wood, which has black bark, but the interior of it is kind of like a dark cherry, dark brown, but it has that very, very specific red sap that comes out of the wood when the bark is removed from the exterior of the tree.
Do I know anything about that? Have I heard
Make a history check.
that word, that type of wood before?
Have I come across any of that kind of wood out in range, like while I was ranging?
Make a nature check.
Eh,
I rolled a 20.
20.
Right.
Yeah, for you.
Not a natural 20.
Yeah, dirty 20. Yeah, you would have actually seen it a fair bit around the estate.
Do I know how much it's worth, having seen it and probably having purchased it before? And do I know if Les is being completely swindled?
Yeah, so it doesn't appear to be that Les is being completely swindled. It does appear to be a fairly even valuation. For a 15,000 gold piece item, 1,500 gold piece item, carrying back 250 pounds of the wood would put it at roughly $6 a pound, which would make sense for just a very fine wood. It doesn't have a magical property or anything like that. It's just a very fine piece of wood.
Can I go over the contract and make sure there's no fine print or any details that would otherwise screw me over?
Sure. While you're doing that, Elethe, would you roll in your nature check?
12.
12? Not really. Looking around, even in all the forests that you've been through, black bark is something that would be very striking. And it would make sense because you haven't really ventured that far north, where they're referring to in the Lurkwood. So being from the southern side, nowhere near any interactions with that kind of a piece of wood.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Les going over the contract. I'll come to you in a sec, Emma. But yeah, Les going over the contract. Everything looks very much on the up and up. You're being contracted to get a certain weight of wood. They're going to provide you a container to be able to transport the wood so that it doesn't dry out too quickly, which will probably give you about an extra 2 weeks. So it would give you just shy of a month to get it back to them before the wood would expire.
Okay, and no due date?
Well, no, it's that the due date is that you need to bring back the wood.
Right, so like bring this back within 2 weeks, or otherwise it's void. It's just like bring this back when you can, and we'll refund.
Sorry. Well, they would provide you the container when you left.
Right.
So it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, we'll take the container now and we'll do it in a month. It's you would say like, okay, we're going to start this contract, and then you're going to go do the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And sorry. So now,
Right.
Emma, what did you say?
I just wanted to remind Les that Cinnamon can carry 540 pounds. Cinnamon is very strong, and considering
True.
that is significantly less than 540 pounds. Just to know that.
And I go over to Hope and be like, that's true, because then we could probably take some extras for ourselves, and other people, double the price. All right, Dad. Got yourself a deal.
We have an accord. Very well. Please come and let us know when you'll be venturing out. We will provide the container for you, and we will look forward to making the arrangements. Would you like to purchase the item today, or would you like to arrange the trade after?
I would like to purchase that today, if I may.
Very well. 1,500 gold, if you please.
Reach into my pouch, my other side pouch, looks like a Rob Liefeld drawing, and put it down on the counter.
All right. And they dole out 1,500 gold pieces from within that, and they just, pleasure doing business with you, and reach out a hand to shake your hand. And the Javelin of Lightning is yours.
At that point, once Les has finished his transaction, I would have pulled out my fine set of thieves' tools.
Okay.
And asked, you mentioned that you are able to make things better or improve weapons. Are you able to improve tools as well?
Tools are a tad more difficult to refine because they are dependent on the ability of the person using them. Weapons, an idiot can be given a sharp weapon and poke something. An idiot using a very fine set of tools will only do so well.
So you're not able to enchant thieves' tools?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, thank you.
Our pleasure. Please enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Aluura kind of glares at him a little bit, but like not overtly, but just like she's like,
and they have the non-crow's feet smiles, just gesturing for you all to head out as they return to polishing the blades on pieces of leather and really getting them to fine edges.
Hope, are you all done as well? Did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I don't feel like these were quite what I was after, but I also wasn't entirely sure what I was really looking for at the same time. Good to have seen what can be made and what's available and what kind of prices that's gonna require.
Yeah.
Before we go, Jordy, I wanted to wrap up a couple things in there too.
Yeah.
So, as I like hand them back the +2 short sword, I see that he's made a deal with my friend. Is there anything else that you take in trade that I could bring to you? Anything interesting?
Any kind of interesting metals that you may come across. Meteorites of different kinds are always of intriguing use within the metallurgy world. Beyond that, we are not but a simple, dedicated shop to the people of Waterdeep.
Fair enough. Do you have
Can I
anything?
insight check that?
Sure.
Can I insight check that? 19.
Seems pretty on the up and up. Leif?
Do you have anything interesting for those of us who are archers?
The finest bows that you can find within the city.
Any of them have any special properties, or just well made?
They could be arranged to have special properties, but nothing currently available that has that off the rack, as it were.
I see, and arrows?
Arrows would be the same. They could be arranged whether you're trying to slay dragons, slay specific strong entities, but with standard stock, we typically sell to hunters, not those looking to slay the larger beasts.
Do your enchanters have the capability to protect against, or to be especially effective against creatures from the Nine Hells?
Radiance of kind. There are stories of certain elven bows that create radiant arrows. It would be something to look into where more information may be acquired, but an item such as this is one of fables from our people.
Or would there have been any such work done in the Lurkwood before your people left?
The Lurkwood, those of us who resided there were simple folk. You would be looking more in some of the larger settlements. Maybe some information found on where to start. I'm not entirely sure.
Certainly. No, that's been very helpful. Thank you.
Happy to be of service. And he just bows low again.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the afternoon.
Oh, thank you. You as well.
And then heads back and begins sharpening everything again. I love how you guys just inherently hate all of my NPCs.
I don't. That's fine.
Sorry, I should say Amanda. Amanda's just like, fucking inside check, dirt. And fuck off. That whole thing, yeah.
I leave the shop
Just
pretending to
because
thrust and spear things.
You word things specifically where it sounds like you're implying something. So I'm insight checking your like.
You're insight checking the DM.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, we need to ask questions sometimes, and
Yeah.
especially when you smile or your tone of how you say something. I feel like you have a great poker face, but you're also just great at messing with us.
Oh yeah,
What
it's
are the
fun.
What are the odds we can get a polygraph hooked up to the stream so we can tell when any sort of weird shit's going on?
You just put a heartbeat monitor on me. Streamers
I
do it
know
all
we
the time
already
when they
technically
play.
have that with
games.
every insight check we make, but like,
But it's close, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I was
So-
midway through Hobbs and Shaw. What's going on?
No worries. So we're done with those guys doing their shopping. So
Okay.
forgive me. So Doctor, you said you and Leif were heading into Bowels of the Earth?
yes.
Okay. So easy enough to make your way through, eventually finding the entrance, stepping down the stairs, and the familiar damp, kind of dark interior greets you. And you do see at this point Zurazal is seated at his regular booth, and he does appear to have a few assorted creatures beside him. A couple of elves, a couple of half-orcs, and he appears to be partaking in some of the finery.
Lucian.
Leif, you weren't down here with me last time, right?
No, I did actually come
No,
down
that's
here. I was the guy that fenced over that staff that was smoking. Yeah.
Ah, yes, you met Aaron. He's a old dear friend.
Everyone's super cool down here. It's pretty neat. You got this whole connection going on.
It's part of a vast and elaborate backstory, which, we might or might not have time to get into.
I can only hope.
At some point, I'm sure. So you're aware, long story short, Zurazal here, great guy. We go back a long time. He helped me out a whole bunch, and I helped him out a whole bunch. But he's got connections all over the place.
Yeah, hi.
Sounds all right. Do you think you might be able to help us with this, or
If there's something going on underground in Waterdeep, he'll know.
That's cool. I mean, this is a mission of it seems like things are happening literally by the
As
hour.
we speak.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the rest of the gang's, not getting sidetracked or anything.
What's his name? Old Beardy's bleeding out on a field in Secomber?
Yeah, poor guy.
He's very dead by now, I bet. Not that we had anything to do with that. It was the Abishai, probably.
That's true. Okay, yeah. Well, anyways, I'll take your lead. I'm not the best at talking.
Don't you worry. I'm going to approach Zerazal's table.
And he's just kind of deep in conversation. You can see him just smiling and laughing as, like, he's just being very friendly with the gaggle of people that are around him.
Very nice. Room for one more?
Doctor, always. Come in.
Leif's experiencing that thing where your friend knows someone, but you don't know them. Actually, is there room for another one?
Yeah. Well? Do you mind if my friend here joins us? This is Leif. You didn't meet him the last time through.
Hey, what's going on?
You shove. And he kind of shunts off an elven guy sitting at the end of the bar, kind of just holding his drink and not really talking to many people, and he just kind of shunts him off the end of the table, and then makes room for you to squeeze in. And it's a very tight squeeze. You gotta do the whole lift the belly and slide in a little. But
kind of stick my knee out. If you want to come sit on my knee, it's chill.
Yeah, and your legs really do have to do this side shuffle out because it's way too small underneath.
Okay.
But yeah, he kind of
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he just kind of hushes everybody on the side and. What brings you in, Doctor?
Well, it seems that security's gotten awful tight around the city. What's going on?
Well, apparently there was word of some kind of another attack.
On Secomber?
I assume as much.
We, my associates and I were tasked by the Lord's Alliance to go check it out. It's pretty rough looking over there.
You took a contract from the Alliance.
Hey, I tried to bring you guys a sigil.
Wonders never cease.
Hey, I told them that I wouldn't actively be working against them, but that's fine.
Only passively.
Exactly.
All right. Well, what brings you down today?
Well, I was wondering if you might have some of those old contacts what used to get us around fast in the old days. You remember?
Of course. I can always keep them on retainer should their services become useful again.
Well, my associates and I may need some quick travel, shall we say, back into the town. There were some places that we hadn't yet had the ability to check out, but now it's much, much easier.
Back into Secomber. I apologize. That one has been down for quite some time. One of the unfortunate side effects of the Alliance being as plentiful as it is in a city so small. Our back doors remain closed. I can get you to Baldur's Gate, to a few different places around. A little further north, a little further south, but heading east is a bit difficult at the moment.
Okay, good to note. How far east can you get us, do you reckon?
Well, the furthest east would be following the coast, simply dropping you in Daggerford.
That would...
Okay, let's
not... That would actually be...
maybe let's not do that one just yet.
Oh, okay.
Any word from out there?
Nothing particular.
All right. Good to note. I suppose it has been a while. We could probably drop into Daggerford, huh?
You could do that. I mean, there are always other ways. If you're interested in using services outside of my own, making your way into the yawning portal and what lies below.
Do you have any contacts down there that I could, drop a name? Maybe they'd be a little friendlier?
Contacts do not exist down there. The ones down there are there for a reason. They choose to exist outside of our regular way of life.
Noted. Hey, out of curiosity, you had any buyers come through for that staff yet?
Money's been a bit tight on the buying market. Some feelers have been put out on a few ships crossing across the Moonshay Isles, but nothing coming back as a hit quite yet.
No worries. Well, I appreciate the work all the same.
Happy to be of service.
What's the best way down into the portal?
Well, the yawning portal is the inn on the surface. The well within is what you use to descend. You know this,
Of course.
Doctor.
It's been a while. I've been in Selgon.
I know you and your ventures outside of my city.
Hey, it's friendly.
Make your way inside. Ask for the entrance to the Undermountain. You'll be led to a rickety chair on a well. Pay your fare, descend down. There may be some way that you could have a bit of fun there.
I bet. Any of our old guys make their way down there? Do you know?
Not of their own volition. One or two that we had to assist with getting out of there, but unfortunately neither of them were able to make the return trip. They fell prey
still
to
around?
the pits.
Oh, I see. Good to know. Well, I guess that'll be our next stop.
Hey, Zurzel, you said you have got some stuff flown through the Moonshay Isles?
Yes, well, there's always a few ships heading west across the waters, whether they just go out and down or out to the islands beyond.
I'm actually kind of in the market, nothing romantic, well, I don't know actually, but if you ever run into another Furbolg, if you ever do any business with them, I'm really trying to expand my circle and, meet another Furbolg, so if you ever see one or know any, just let me know, and I'd really appreciate it.
Sorry, you are a Furbolg, yes? You know of your culture and the people within it.
I've been a little, out of the loop, so I'm always looking to kind of, reconnect with the folks.
Were you banished?
Not that I was aware of.
Where
Leif
is
here
your
doesn't
clan?
know a whole lot about his past, unfortunately.
Yeah, without getting into it, I'm a pretty,
clean slate.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty standard adventurer fare. Don't know my parents, trying to find them. So yeah, I don't know a heck of a lot about Furbolgs. I'll level with you. The doctor seems you guys seem to go back a ways, so I don't mind sharing that one. Pretty open book.
The doctor and I have a few old battle scars that we share.
That we do.
That scene from Jaws. You got this one.
So,
Cool.
You have no clan.
No, I didn't actually know that was a part. But now I know, and no, I don't. Just like a thing I can sign up for. Because I've kind of hang out with some adventurers, but
You certainly could sign up, Leif.
There is always room for the uninitiated within our humble group.
well, I mean, if you guys know stuff about Furbolgs, that sounds fantastic.
I have a limited knowledge, having dealt with a few larger kin in my past.
Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, if you got room for one more, I'm always happy to. I'm pretty handy. I can fix things. I'm really good at that. So if any of that needs done, and you guys just kind of let me know if any Furbolgs roll through. Seems like a pretty fair deal.
Doctor, would he be a good fit as another doctor?
Oh.
He's got some very fine healing skills, there is all.
As good
His
as
are a
yours?
bit more magical than mine were.
Ah. So not used to the act of sewing, as it were.
Not really, no.
What is your name, friend?
Oh, my name's Leif, and I'll kind of hold out a hand.
And he just kind of sees the gigantic furball can and just kind of slaps the side of your hand a little bit.
Hey. Kind of a cool thing. I had a secret handshake with my friend Hope, but we can work one out too.
I would recommend, if you're in the mood to learn a little bit, looking up the furball code.
I can do that. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'll
I
definitely...
take it you still have access to those signets you tried to hawk.
We do.
Yes.
Spend some time researching the clans and your people. You might find a bit of interesting knowledge about how it is the rest of Furbolg society exists.
Well, I'm sure they're as friendly and as nice as I've been told I am, so I can't wait to find out more.
Friendly and nice, yes. Yes.
Cool. Well, anyway, Zurzal, really appreciate your knowledge. I mean, you've been more helpful than a lot of people that, we've talked to that seem to be, professionals on the subject, so I really appreciate it. And if there's anything I can do to pay you back, just let me know.
Well, if you really are interested in joining our humble ranks, perhaps at some point we could arrange for a journey.
Oh, that
I have a
sounds
few
good.
items that need to be brought south to Baldur's Gate, and you being in the same party as one of my trusted friends, I'm sure that we could trust you with ensuring the delivery of certain items.
We're bound to head south sooner or later. I'm sure we'd be happy to do it.
Come see me before you do. It's a small thing, not anything that you should require any large traversing equipment for, but something that would be best kept out of the eyes, perhaps while you still have those sigils with free passage.
Of course.
Yeah, no, sounds great.
I look forward to working with you in the future, Leif.
Oh, likewise, Zurzal, a friend of the doctor's is a friend of mine, so I appreciate getting to know you.
You as well. Doctor?
Always a pleasure.
And he just kind of leans back and, puts his arms out again, and you can see, there's a guy on the left and a girl on the right, and they both just kind of cuddle into him a little bit.
Is Leif and the doctor gonna go on a space-age journey to fight Daleks? I must know this!
Well, we can do that while you guys are completing your quest.
Oh my god! That was awesome. The doctor.
Split off for the second stream.
Leif, you just pulled a Pippin.
Oh, I wonder what that could be. Cool. So yeah, that's sort of everything I was going for.
All right. So everybody kind of wrapped up all the shopping and stuff that they needed to do during the day. Any last minute stuff that you wanted to do, or on to the next tasks of any kind?
I'm feeling good to move on.
I think so.
Leonard.
Sorry? Oh, yeah, you wanted to go to the Rookery. So easy enough. You kind of following along, and with the assistance of Aluura and Les kind of pointing things out, and Hope as well, seeing the ravens flying through the air, you eventually do find that there is a Rookery that you can hire ravens to traverse messages. It would depend on where exactly you needed to send it. Most common places they would go would be places like Baldur's Gate, and for a journey of that distance, you'd be looking at about a 7-day delivery time frame, and in that time frame, it would cost about 6 silver pieces to deliver a standard sheet of parchment.
I want to send it to Shamath.
Okay. That would be a little bit more difficult, because they might not have a specific ability to do that. Yeah, the closest they could get is to Baldur's Gate. The ravens themselves are more designed around traveling messages between the port cities. So Luskin, Neverwinter, Waterdeep, Daggerford, and Baldur's Gate. Anything beyond that would be a message delivered individually by a specific person. And there are ways of doing that as well. But it would be, again, a little bit more difficult to find, and especially coming from this far north, it might end up needing to be sent down on one of the ships. Just trying to remember where exactly I had put Shemeth. Sorry.
That's okay.
Jordy, quick question.
Yep.
Not related to the gameplay so much. Are we having a break / doing a giveaway this session?
I didn't announce anything at the start. It's kind of up to you guys if you wanted to. We've done 5 of those in a row, so it's up to you if you wanted to do one this week as well.
It is 10.
Yeah, I'm good. If we're running to 10:30, I'm good to.
Yeah, I'd say just push through rather than take a break or anything.
Unless y'all gotta pee.
Yeah,
because I hooked up a catheter, so I've been chilling here.
Your D&D today.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it D20 shaped?
Yes, unfortunately.
Just want to remember exactly where I had put Shemeth. One sec.
Yeah, because unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to actually peace out early from today's session, which is why I was checking about a break.
Well, I mean, Hope, if you
That's
wanna,
Yeah, if you need to head out, no worries.
dip into the unicorn's horn early.
I think I do. I think there was a lot more shopping than I intended, and even though I didn't buy anything, it still wiped me out.
Window shopping really, drains the hell out of you.
It's rough.
Yeah. Sorry, folks.
You're okay, Amber.
Yeah, you're good.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you. Hope you do too. I'm excited to see what happens. And that was maybe a pun. Bye.
Bye.
We'll get some good deals on the next store we go to. Cool. So
I'm just gonna quickly.
Yeah, sorry. While you're doing this, just to kind of confirm to the rest of the party, we're all kind of meeting up back at the Unicorn Swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this will probably proceed after Elethe checks out the rookery.
All right. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember, because there was a map that I had pulled up before, and I'm trying to find it. I'm really sorry. I had all of this prepped.
It doesn't have to happen this session either. We could do this next time.
Yeah, we'll have to find it, because I had a map of where I had put Shamath, because it's not like a really prominent thing that's on any of the maps anywhere, but I had found a specific map that kind of showed where it was, and I just don't even remember where the hell it is. So I'm gonna have to find that. We'll arrange that after the session.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I chat with the doctor when we meet back up with them?
Yeah, of course. So you guys have all kind of met back up at this point.
Okay.
Hello.
Doctor, I was hoping to chat with you about something.
Yes.
You said that you've got contacts and you've got Zurazel, just in terms of attaining things.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to get I'm on the hunt for either a magical set of thieves' tools or getting my set enchanted. I was wondering if you could put some feelers out for something of that sort.
Well, next time I'm by bowels of the earth, I can leave a message with Aaron there and see if he can't get some word through.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that's I think that's kind of all I need to set myself up for everything. So
I mean, one thing, we are all gathered now, yeah, Jordy?
Yeah, you are.
Cool. So gang, buddies, pals, we've got a couple options. Leif and I had a enlightening discussion with my old buddy Zurazel. And there are ways for us to teleport. There are people we can talk to. However, and this kind of ties into what you were asking about, Aluura. It's very convenient. We would have to go down into the Yawning Maw.
What's the Yawning Maw?
So,
Yawning Portal.
it's
Sorry.
Yawning Portal. That's the one. That's the guy. The Yawning Portal. It's So you know how some cities exist as large plates over top of less developed cities that are full of crime.
Yeah.
Heard of it?
So
yeah.
it's that one. It's kind of the lawless underbelly of Waterdeep.
Oh.
There are there's a couple ways in. There's a number of dangers down there waiting for us, including some very fancy fight pits, Leif and Oak. Wink, wink.
Oh. Cool.
But there are also a number of, shall we say, less sanctioned wizards we could potentially twist the arms of.
Would these wizards have access to interplanetary travel, maybe?
I mean, look, I don't have the Tom's guide to who's down there, Les. But
True.
I am certain that we could poke around.
I like what you're putting down.
Yeah, I
Aluura,
think it's
you
worth
had something?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a thread we should pull for sure. Jordy, that's similar to some places I have had access to before. Yes?
By that description, yes. Very similar to places that you've had access to. You personally don't actually know that much about Undermountain, because it's somewhere that... Actually, you know what? Make a history check for me.
5.
5.
No, 10. Sorry, 10.
Okay.
I get added things.
So, normally cities have got a seedy underbelly of some kind. It might be a specific tavern, it might be a certain false door that leads to a whole underground network. Undermountain is a very different beast. Undermountain is more of a labyrinth of levels. That there are at least 10 levels underground, the topmost of which is referred to as the level of the exiled. And it tends to be people who are serving out life prison sentences, essentially, where they can't be killed within Waterdeep for whatever reason, and they don't want to be exiled because they may cause havoc outside the city. So they get relegated to existing on this, and they've kind of created a lawless society below Waterdeep. What extends below that, you're not sure. But we'll say that this one you would know at least a little bit more, that it's not just a seedy underbelly, where you go to have a brawl in a tavern more than you would do on the surface. This one is very much the lawless area.
Okay.
We're hanging out with some anarcho.
So a little seedier than the seedy underbelly.
Well, I was trying to make it sound more enticing, Jordy.
Yeah, less seedy and more dangerous.
Stabby.
Right, okay.
Yeah, more stabby. Less seedy, more stabby.
Oh.
Now, fellas, we have another option as well. If we do want to go east rather quickly, we have some old networks that can get us into Daggerford. I'm not thrilled about that, but if it's what we gotta do, it's what we gotta do.
I mean,
I haven't been around some seedy people in quite some time, especially if there's fight bits involved.
Do we want to press, why do I always forget? Raiden? About the potential other magic users who might be able to do teleportation for us? Do we want to try to poke those folks?
Be honest, I was just gonna say it doesn't. Those people might be just as shady as anything the doctor's friends can bring us. Like, if there's magical families who are of power here in Waterdeep who choose not to be affiliated with the Castle Waterdeep and the official, lawmakers, they might be just as difficult.
I feel he probably would have recommended, like, it to me it doesn't make sense that he would withhold that kind of information given how, pressing our purpose for travel would be. So it seems like these would be our best routes.
Now, I should say, do we want to go back to Secomber, like, now-ish?
That was going to be my next question. Do we feel there's anything we can really gain from going back there, or should we...
Well, saving Emilio's life could be a very handy card that could...
But he's been unconscious for
he's gonna be
most of the day now. He's either dead or he's
Yeah,
fine.
no. We're gonna be getting there in the aftermath regardless.
Leif, I know you're able to bring people back very quickly after they've passed. Are you able to do that type of magic longer after someone has passed?
Yeah, actually, I can, I think I'm able to bring someone back if they've been dead for about 10 days, so that does put a time limit on it, and it does sort of exclude our regular travel route, assuming if by any chance he passes today. Yeah. Sorry, Leif.
I propose this, because let's not forget, we're here to help Leif's family, the granny. This whole point of this adventure started was make sure she was safe from your visions that you had, no? If we went down...
Not really, but yeah. She's
Not really, but yes.
I mean, yeah, she's sort of been a thing, I've been concerned about, but this is more in relation to everything. I mean, yeah, my granny is technically involved, but so is realistically everyone else on this plane. If there's some sort of unrest in the planes, this is an issue that concerns everyone.
Yeah, I feel like this might have started because Leif was attacked in his dream by a demon.
Yeah.
Right, but I thought your granny was also involved in that she was a part of the vision, no?
No.
No, she wasn't part of the vision, Les. She was just in the area around Secomber, so we were checking in on the Secomber deal because we knew that she was kind of near it in terms of where she lives. But
Right,
she wasn't part of the dream.
No, but she's connected with Leif's lineage, the parents that he doesn't know, and we're finding out that there could be a possible connection between your parents and this.
I mean, look, if we're holding on to her, I do think she's I would like to check in on her. You're not wrong there, but it there might be some more pressing areas that we should check in on. I am gonna check in with her later tonight, just to make sure she is okay.
Well, then if she's okay, we don't necessarily need to rush back there.
Exactly, that's gonna kind of decide that.
Right.
But similarly, we're in a situation that may warrant the potentially that invasion of this plane by warring hell factions. that could be an issue.
Yeah.
But also the city underneath Waterdeep. I mean, if there's anyone that's going to have any dark dealings with demonic entities or devils of any sort, probably going to be the people that live under the city.
Let's not stereotype, Les.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, you're going to go try to find people that are most associated with cultists and dark dealings, probably going to be the criminal underground.
I mean, there was some dude cutting a finger off in the middle of a field. This seems to be a far-reaching problem. It really seems to exist within every level of, government or whatever we're aware of.
Yeah, I don't know why we're still... I still don't completely trust old Shirtless, but,
No, I don't either.
And I didn't trust, what's his name? The dead guy, Amantior. Emilior?
Right.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Emilio. But as far as transportation goes, trying to get from these places quicker than on horseback feels like one of the only leads we have is this city under the city.
Well, we have, like I said, we have a couple options. We can try in the Undercity and see if we can't find someone down there that has the sort of wizardly chutzpah that we're looking for. Or we can take a preset route that'll take us into Daggerford and head east. Or we can wait for Ryden Or do we want to go east in the first place right now?
That's fair. I mean, if we do Daggerford, that would probably cut our trip in half. We'd still be getting there in like 5 days.
Daggerford would be about 5 days, and then it's about another. Daggerford is about 3 or 4 days,
Okay.
And then east is about 5 or 6.
Okay, so like we'd still be getting there like a week after things. Like we're still kind of
Cut a few days off our travel at
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
go
like,
to the Undercity, but that's just me.
I'm a big fan of the Undercity, but I guess what I'm pushing towards is, do we want to go back east right now
I don't
To
think we're
Secomber.
gonna do
to
anything
Secomber?
the forces can't already do without us.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be much of a benefit for us to do that right now.
Raiden and his forces are already heading there now. Seems like they had an okay handle on it. And I mean, if there's any more trouble, he's going to let us know anyway.
I mean, I think it's worth investigating the Undercity just to
I agree.
maybe get some
I think
leads
so.
on some thingies.
It's
I
definitely.
agree.
It seems like the highest risk, but probably the highest payoff. So
Leif, as
Plus-
you guys are having this conversation, you kind of just immediately get sidetracked and you start hearing,
Leif, you said to reach out to you if anything ever went sideways. I'm in a lot of pain right now. But I'm alive. Apparently that dragon thing was a lot stronger than what you said. My tower is gone.
and then the message cuts off there.
okay,
Okay, so maybe Secomber.
yeah, it's like, we just got a little, and I just heard from Amelior. He's conscious at least in some way. Actually, wait, no, I can respond to him, right?
You can, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just want to, Okay, yeah. Okay, Amelior, let us know if we should head to Secomber immediately. We are investigating information about the cult and
Does he know how to teleport?
attacks.
W.
Can you teleport us?
Okay.
Right.
Good question.
And so all of you just kind of keep talking, and you notice that Leif just kind of goes really, really
Starts
quiet,
drooling.
and then just like,
Leif's brain is on hold. Please wait.
then he just kind of,
No, I don't have the ability to teleport, you silly Furbolg. That's a lot of blood. Yes, Lavender, come here.
Oh,
That one's still kicking.
Oh, the cats are okay. Thank God.
One of them is.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, it's true.
Les, you're gonna be full-time cat after this.
There was something in my tower that they wanted. Well, he wanted. I don't know what else. I thought my golems would be enough. Apparently not.
Okay, so that was him responding again.
so that was a
Can
new
I-
message.
Okay, so
that
can
he
I
was
respond?
sending to you, so you can respond to that again.
Do you by any chance know where they're headed next? Any information is valuable to us at this time. How can we help?
And he just again pauses for 10-15 seconds, and then
No idea where they're going. Wait, they? It was one thing. What do you mean,
Oh.
they? He just said he was looking for something. Where is the book? And I had a lot of books, so I guess he tore down my tower. Obviously found it because I'm still alive.
Oh shit, I like I'm probably okay. If anything else changes, please let us know. Be safe. We're figuring things out. How's Secomber? Is anyone else hurt?
And again, another 10, 15 seconds goes by, and then...
I just woke up. Didn't have time to message you before. Got knocked unconscious. Judging by the city, citizens look fine. Guards are dead.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, the keep is gone.
Okay.
That's
We
new.
don't think that.
Okay. So yeah, probably like, so I don't keep running out Amelior's minutes, I'll turn to the party and say, okay, so it seems like, so I'm talking to Amelior. He's conscious, so that, that does sort of take a bit of stress off our travel, but the keep is gone, the guards are dead, the citizens seem fine, so this might be a very targeted attack. I don't know, does that make any sense to you guys?
Yeah. Did he say anything about what was going on? Were they after something? Or
Sounds like they were after some book of his.
a book?
I wonder if he's the type to keep a list of his library up to date and accurate.
Maybe.
I mean, I doubt
What was
it,
the
but-
book? Do we know?
Seemed like it was somewhere in his tower, and whatever they were looking for, they found. So, I mean, part of me feels like if they've left the citizens unharmed, they got what they needed. There's something else coming now.
Can you ask him what the book was? Maybe they have a copy here at the library.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'll cast Sending, which I'm trying to keep track of my spell slots. I definitely have a slot for this.
you haven't used any sending spells today. Oh no, sorry, you did. You used.
I used one. I've used
one.
like two.
Yeah, you used one.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Sending on Amelior and say, "Hey, Amelior, do you by any chance know which book it was that was taken? And if not, could you look for a bit and see if you could figure it out by any chance? That might help us a lot."
Well, my tower's destroyed, so all the books are gone or burned. They
That's
talked
fair.
about... I remember him asking... It was a journal that I kept. My journal. Not a book by someone else. About a strange trip I took into the high forest. That's
Oh,
all.
for fuck's sake. Okay, Leif immediately scatters out the goods for scrying
Okay.
onto the table. So, gang, might be redirecting our trip into the high forest, if that's okay. And
I'm gonna motion to the bartender to bring us all drinks and tea for Aluura.
I mean,
It's gonna be a night.
I'll sort of be setting up a scrying ritual
Yep.
on my granny.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any conversation going, but I think it takes like 10 minutes to set up.
Yeah, it
or
takes 10
something.
minutes to set it up.
So we gotta run whatever.
Yeah, so if there was anything any of you also wanted to discuss while Leif was setting up the ritual.
Journal. You guys were in words. It's like,
Words.
when we were at the Font of Knowledge, one of the books that we found was the journal.
The Gargoth, anyway.
Yeah, and that was his own journal, or was that written about him?
Nope, it was his journal that was dated somewhere between 300 and 600 years ago.
Do we think that our friend
Is
here
Amelior
is
Gargoth?
Gargoth?
Well, I mean, that would mean he's keeping two journals, wouldn't it?
I don't think he would have been so easily defeated if he was.
That's true.
Right.
Huh. I mean, the journal, Gargoth's journal, didn't have anything particularly, magic-y in it, right?
Okay.
It was just like his
It
writing.
was a recounting of him traversing between the planes, using the permanent gate of fire, a gate from the Nine Hells. The Gate of Fire is what it's referred to as, to traverse from the Nine Hells to the Prime Material Plane, because he didn't have the ability to cast the spell to do it himself, so he had to seek out the primordial gate that existed.
Right.
And it discussed his feuding with Asmodeus, his banishment from the Nine Hells by Asmodeus, and then him forming the disciples, forming his followers on Toril.
Okay, and then what was the journal? It was a journal about his trip to.
So
somewhere?
it was a journal of a strange trip that he had to the High Forest.
I think that maybe if we go back to the library, we need to start looking at the High Forest and what historically has happened there.
Yeah, and more about the Furbolgs. Yeah, I think that maybe we should definitely spend another day at the library. And Jordy, as a side note, we can give you those requests. Like,
sure. If there's anything specific you want to research, I can have stuff prepped for that.
Sorry, just checking. It's like midday right now, or is it in the evening?
Because of the amount of time you've been out and about doing stuff, it's probably like late afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock.
Because I mean, we could boot it to the library and hit a late night if we need.
Hey,
I mean, some of us could, and Leif, if you've got to scry, you scry.
Yeah, I mean, this probably won't take too long, but I can meet you all there if you want.
Okay.
Take a road beer. So yeah, I'm not too sure how
we'll say it's fine. You've got the scry set up now, so you can scry on your
So yeah, I want to cast scry on Beatrice.
All right. So again, you feel the familiar hands kind of twisting your head and your eyes closing, and you get guided through the darkness, and then they open into a bright, shining white that eventually turns to a bright green, lush forest, lush ground, and you see Beatrice just sitting at a small stool, pouring herself a cup of tea and slowly just sipping the cup. Everything looks and sounds perfectly fine, exactly as you would expect it to be.
I kind of hold there for like a little bit and just like, oh, this is nice. This is nice.
Just kind of like over the left shoulder, just kind of looking at the familiar table that you and Hope shared a few meals on just a couple of months ago. And then a number of times growing up that you used to always help her bring stuff down off of higher shelves onto that table so that she could reach it, and how it basically came up to your mid-calf.
Yeah, that tracks.
So
cool. Okay, yeah, I'll sort of snap out of it. I mean, I don't know how long that took, but...
It's up to 10 minutes as long as you want to, so you could have been in there for 2 minutes and then called it.
Okay, cool. If anyone is still there, I'll just sort of say, okay, my granny's cool for now, at least. I think we should maybe press some research on the High Forest and then go to figure out if we can figure out a location. Maybe someone in Undermountain can help us get there.
I think that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Shall we?
I'll start making arrangements for the Undermountain.
Oh boy.
We get our Disney day passes.
Pretty much. All right. So, with the doctor starting to arrange some ideas of exactly how to access Undermountain, the city below the city, and all of you kind of having an idea of what exactly is going to transpire in the next little while, that's going to be where we go ahead and wrap up tonight's session.
Yeah.
So a bunch of research, a nice couple of topics to look into, figuring out how to gain access to a whole new area in one of the most populous cities in the realm.
Gil taught me some negotiating skills.
We're going under.
Yeah, less acquiring a new weapon as well. I'll send you a card for that one. I know you've got it.
I got it already.
I know you've got it, but I want to have it so that when we get back to the table, I can actually give the physical cards out again.
Hey, Jordy.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Jordy, having been in and around this world before, would I know what it would take to get down there?
It's a nice and simple coin transaction.
Easy. Cool.
Yep. Couple of gold pieces, and they stick you on a really rickety bucket, and then you literally just ride the bucket and go down about 100 feet, and you're in Undermountain.
Love it. What's the return fee?
No return fee.
Even better.
Because you got to figure out a way to come back. That's the problem.
Good.
Is getting down there is easy. Coming back is the tough part.
I have Dimension Door, so I'm not too worried, but the rest of you, we'll see.
All right. Awesome. So thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. No giveaway this week just because we're trying to jump right into the stream, but we'll definitely be doing one next week. Either giving away a nice set of dice or another little dice tray or all kinds of cool stuff. Maybe I'll make like some D&D coasters and we'll give away a set of coasters.
Yeah.
But yeah, Undermountain next week. Stoked for that. And then all the new research into Furbolgs and everything. So can't wait to see you guys all next week. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for playing. Love doing this every week, and I'm so happy that we've stuck together. And yeah, I'm excited to see where things keep going.
Oh, it's going to be good.
I have straight rolled 5 natural 20s just for funsies.
I didn't roll a die today for the first time in so long.
Yeah.
I didn't need to.
There goes all my luck.
Persuasion roll with all that dealing, but
exactly. All right. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you guys here next week, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.